787.
787 departure frequency 15 will be 1257.
257, thanks.
All right. Now for reals, 2 minutes in. Welcome back to the SciFi And Friends podcast, second episode of 2019. I have 1.5 guests today. I have Patrick Garcia.
Hey, what's up, Colton? How you doing?
I'm doing well. And over here, you can't see her, but we got Misha Martin, right?
Yeah.
Or is it, when are you guys going to get married?
Probably, what were we saying, 420?
Yeah, 420, 2020.
I could have guessed.
Yeah.
Why did I could have guessed?
No. It's going to be a great day.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. You won't remember a thing.
probably not.
So, but thank you for coming on. Misha does have a mic and she's got headphones, so she might be poking
Yep.
in here and there with
I'll
comments.
tell you, anytime Pat's not telling the truth.
There you go. Anytime he fabricates
Yeah.
his
All the
stories.
lies, right there, lie
Right.
detector.
Got it.
She's just going to wait the whole podcast and the very end she goes, by the way, everything he said, bullshit.
Bullshit.
I'm like, oh, okay, well,
100%.
hope you enjoyed those stories.
Yeah.
So,
I'm a good storyteller. Get ready.
yeah, okay, good. I'm ready. Tell us one. No. So we got a lot to talk about, but I guess first, because it's fresh on your mind, this whole last weekend of rolling, you competed in, what tournament was that?
It was the Kansas City Absolute, and man, they hold it on. They do a tournament during the day, and then at night they put on a pro show, which they'll have about 12, 13 matches of just straight jiu-jitsu matches. And it's ran like if you've ever been to an MMA show, it's ran almost identical.
Right, like people walking out to music and that kind of stuff?
You had
or-
your walkouts and everything like that. The one thing I actually really enjoyed about it was, everybody like at MMA, you go to get to fight your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
You usually don't like them. You're like, hey, I'm here to beat you up. I'm here to hurt you.
Right.
And jiu-jitsu, you're out there just to show your art and to show what you represent from your club or wherever you're from. But when you guys step on the mat, it's nothing but a fist bump, and you guys go after it, and it's nothing but respect. And afterwards, it was just, really humbling. I didn't get the win with my guy, but it was super cool. We were, good friends, no bad beef.
Mm-hmm.
And in MMA, it's not like that. It's rare that you're like, hey, man, let's go hang out after I beat you up. Like,
Right. Usually there's maybe like a fist bump or like a good job.
yeah.
But, the only time I've ever seen that in MMA is Nick Diaz and McGregor.
Yeah.
After the second bout.
Yeah.
They're the only ones I've seen arm around each other, bloody as hell, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and a lot of those, I mean, those guys, they went to war, and I mean, when you go through that much with somebody, I mean, you're always going to remember that, and there's going to be some kind of attachment there.
True, right. While you're suffering in the gym, they're suffering in the gym.
Exactly.
And when you see their press conference, it's usually about you. So that's interesting. I never thought about that that route is intertwined all the way up until the match itself.
Yep. Oh, exactly, man.
That's cool. And yeah, like you said about jiu-jitsu, it's much more, it's like martial arts for surfers, right?
Yeah.
It kind of had that same vibe, just
Yeah.
laid back, a lot of stoning, a lot of
stoning.
stoners.
We don't throw stones at anybody. There is no stones in jiu-jitsu.
When do we get to stone him?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that would hurt.
To die that way?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
I seen a movie that was about stoning people when I was a kid in middle school, actually.
You saw it at middle school or
Yeah.
while you were in middle school?
In middle school, our teacher was like, hey, we're going to watch this video. And it was called, I want to
Pat's
say,
middle school teacher, we need you to verify this. please.
Miss Von
Call in,
Wald.
right?
Her
Yeah.
name was Miss Von Wald, by the way. But it was called, I want to say it was called The Lottery.
Okay.
And these people in this village, if they got picked, they had to get stoned to death.
Okay.
Yeah, it was super. I was like, man, why are we watching this in school?
It's like a B type movie. just-
Yeah, and I'm like, man, we did something really bad to have to watch this.
Can't we watch National Treasure?
Right?
That's funny.
No.
So it wasn't like a documentary. It was like a story.
It was just like some story. And I was like, I really didn't get the whole concept. I'm like, man, that would just suck.
Dude, there's so many movies and TV shows like that nowadays because it's so much. It's kind of easier to make those sorts of.
Mm-hmm.
Let there be light. See, I wish I was on all the time. It's kind of easier to make those sorts of stories nowadays, but you get a lot more of that kind of shit. Like, there's gonna be a small village, and and there's like a drawing, like a lottery, okay? And whoever gets picked, they get killed, you know? And the guy's like, all right, yeah, make it, go make it. Here's $10 million or whatever.
Someone got paid to do that.
I know. A lot of people got paid to do that.
Man.
It just blows my mind. Did you see my rant on Instagram the other day about the sci-fi movie?
Which one?
Oh, God.
Which movie?
Okay, this movie, my dad told me about it, and I'm like, what in the fuck? Like, it blew my mind. The further he went into this stupid movie, the more I'm like, I don't know how you found this, Dad. So it's this sci-fi movie. Sounded cool. The Earth is dying, like they've run out of water, so they send all these ships to these exoplanets that possibly could harbor water. So we follow this one ship. They go to Titan, I believe, one of the moons of Saturn. Oh, lo and behold, they find some water. They're successful. They start coming back to Earth. I'm going to leave out a lot of details, but Earth's gone. It's like fucking imploded. Like it's just gone. And so they're like, what?
It would take forever to get there.
Okay, that's not even, don't even regard that part. Just accept it. I know. I had my thoughts the first time as well, but that's not even close to what the point is about this thing. So the diversity of this crew is crucial to the story. There are 3 guys and 2 girls. I think. Crucial that there's 3 guys and at least 1 other female. On the way back, this girl dies. She just like gets hit by an asteroid or something while she's fixing something outside the spaceship. So now we're down to 3 guys, right? And then they come back and Earth's gone. So they're like, oh shit, we're the last 3 guys. All right.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
One of the guys turns into a girl.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Is it Caitlin?
No, like, yeah, like, okay, dude, it's so bad. It's like you, me, and Jason Rios, and Jason turns into a girl, like a hot girl, and we're the last 3 humans.
That'd be
So you know where this is going, right?
It's horrible.
See how disgusting that is?
2 girls, 1 cup, all over again.
Jesus.
But so anyways, to cut this thing short because it's already blown my mind enough. Anyway, so she turns into a girl. Then the 2 guys start fighting over who's going to fuck her first. One of the guys rapes her, gets her pregnant. She kills both guys, and the ship takes her to another possible Earth, and she's pregnant with
Twins.
he is pregnant with. I don't know if twins or not, but
Gosh.
so that kind of movie. And my first thought was, this fucking thing got made.
Yeah, like who funded it?
I
Like,
don't know.
Well, someone's like, yeah, dude, I'll fund that. Like,
That sounds like a great idea. Yeah, like just what?
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
The guy turns into a girl.
well,
Yeah.
Human centipede.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay,
another
there's
one.
fucking
There's
That's
what?
three of
What is
them.
there? Yeah,
There's
there's
3
3
of
or
them.
4 of them.
No,
I'm
there's
like,
not.
Yes,
Dude,
watch them.
look it
They're
up.
horrifying.
No,
Look up
there's
Human
not.
Centipede.
Horrible.
How many
Yeah.
movies?
No.
I swear, there's 3. Yeah, we literally watched all.
Oh
of
my god. Oh my god. Google brought it up immediately.
Real thing.
That is awful. That's fucking
it's so
awful.
bad.
Like, hey, this would be a great
Oh,
idea.
man.
Yeah.
I gotta get this.
How do you-
hang on? I gotta delete the
That
history.
is the first
How do
one
you go to
is so good.
auditions?
I don't know, dude.
So
I would
here's
love-
your storyline. You're gonna
Yeah.
be taped to this person's ass for 2
You're the
hours.
middle. You're the middle dude.
I mean, I would rather do a fucking porno. I would
Right?
rather.
Oh yeah.
I can't. Yeah. I don't remember if I watched that movie or not.
You would remember.
I've watched.
Okay,
You would
thankfully
know.
I
Yeah.
don't.
I've
So
seen all of them, but I don't remember any of them. I literally don't because it's just so. It was just so dumb. I'm like,
I can't
how
look
do
at you the
people-
same way anymore. I used to look at
Dude.
you and be like, man, he's a purple belt. He's a dad. He's a
Hey,
good guy.
just
And
ima-
now I know on your resume, I've seen all 3.
Human Centipede. Hey, just imagine that when I'm rolling
Can't
with
vote
you,
for
okay?
Yeah.
I can't vote for president anymore.
No.
Oh, man.
That's gonna screw you.
Oh, I guarantee you, Trump has watched Human Centipede.
What would you do if he tweeted that?
Uh,
Just watch Human Centipede.
Centipede.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
If you had one
Exactly.
chance of hacking into his Twitter,
That would be
please
it.
tweet.
that would be it.
Russia would just be like, yeah, nuke him. It's time.
Yeah.
It's time. This has gone too far. Oh. Anyway, back to I went crazy. To the rolling. You were saying how it was a good experience.
Yeah, it was a great experience, man. You know, I haven't competed like in MMA in like a while. It's been like 4 or 5 years. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
So to compete like that kind of scene again on jiu-jitsu level, it was really cool. And Travis, the guy that was putting on the show, Travis Connolly, put on a great show. I loved it. I hope to do it again next year. He does it once a year.
Oh, really?
But it was a great show, and to see everybody get to show their art, and I mean, everybody had a good time. I don't think anybody left saying they had a bad time. Man, I really enjoyed it. The only bummer was I lost, but it was a good match, man. Me and my guy we were even. We were matched evenly. He was a little bit bigger than me.
He looked strong.
He was strong. He was a strong guy. It was crazy, though, because we weighed in, and he was like 6 pounds lighter than me.
Wow.
He weighed in at like 204, 205.
Wow. He didn't look like that.
Yeah, no. And I was like, dang, but he is all kind of muscle. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to weigh differently. He just carried his body differently.
2 inches taller than you.
Yeah.
A little bit taller.
Yeah. He surprised me, though, when he came out, man. I don't know. Did you watch the video?
The pay-per-view? I haven't. I can bring it up.
If you want, you can. It's funny.
I think I can bring it up. How do I?
I don't know where to look it up at because I know Charles.
You sent me a link, didn't you?
Actually, I sent you a link.
What on which platform?
Probably
Pornhub. You probably
probably Pornhub. It was exactly Pornhub.
I think it was
Facebook, Instagram. It was probably Instagram.
Yeah, I think I have it right here.
Oh, she's looking at me. She knows about my Pornhub account.
No, I had something embarrassing happen yesterday.
Ooh,
You know
put
what
your
I
mouth
had?
up to that mic and tell us.
The embarrassing thing. So
Yeah.
my phone, I totally accidentally, the baby hit my phone when I was on a bunch of pictures, and I deleted some of my coupon pictures. So I called AT&T, and I'm like, can you guys help me get these pictures back? She goes, yeah, I can remote control into your phone, give me access. Da, da, da.
Are you
I
serious?
do.
AT&T did this?
Right? Yeah. And I'm like staring at my phone and she's controlling it. Immediately Pornhub pops up on my phone. I swear to Christ. She giggles over the phone and she goes, we all do it like that. It was hilarious, dude. I was busting up laughing at her.
Were you looking at Pornhub
No,
before?
I was holding my phone.
Like it wasn't like you had nothing to do with you.
Porn,
No, I know that.
Yeah, like,
I would be
yeah.
surprised if you hadn't. But like you weren't like it wasn't like one of your open tabs.
No. And they opened it and it just right open.
How
It was
the
hilarious.
fuck?
That's what I was like, what? And she goes, hang on. And I'm like staring at my phone and she's completely controlled my whole phone over the phone.
Was she doing it?
Yeah.
Like what? Like did she bring up Pornhub?
Like she clicked on something and she like goes to type it in and and like.
So she probably brought up her browser.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because like I'm thinking.
That's what I was wondering.
I would laugh it off, but my mother would have a fucking heart attack if
Right.
Pornhub. She wouldn't even know what Pornhub was,
was
but
like,
she would be
just,
very upset.
Like, ass and titties just right on your phone. Just like in your
Yeah, but I mean, my mom is an innocent, lovely Christian woman,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
how would she respond to an AT&T person? Like,
Right?
the,
I was
the
like,
hell was that?
Yeah. It was hilarious, dude. It was so funny.
I don't know how I'd feel about that. I
That's
don't know if
what
I'd start
I
explaining
thought,
myself. Oh yeah, it's not my phone. It's my little brother's phone. And
Right, yeah. Like,
Well, what
had to
happened
get it on it. Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know.
It was hilarious.
Let's
though.
see. It came up on YouTube. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think I got it. That's crazy.
Dude, it was
I've never had anyone take over my phone.
right. I felt very like violated. Like this is, somebody wanted to creep on your life. They totally could.
Yeah.
Like, is this your match?
Yeah.
Should we watch? Should we just let it play and you can commentate?
I mean, not really, because I'm gonna be honest with you. It was,
There you are. So this was the gi.
yeah, it was a gi match, and to be honest with you, I really wish I could have picked up the pace in it. I don't know, man.
Were you afraid about falling off the sides?
That was a concern
Yeah.
because in my MMA career, all the times that I've been in situations where like, man, I hope I don't get slammed. I would get slammed or something would happen.
right, of course.
And I'm like, my luck is this dude is gonna shoot me off the side, and I'm gonna get I'm gonna fall into a chair. But I'm thinking, what if I sweep him off?
Ooh.
That'd look real cool, like something off of 300, the movie. Like,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is Sparta. Like,
Yeah.
but it was crazy when we started this match. So he's gonna come in and he's gonna shoot, and it just was
He looked older. Right?
yeah, he
Looks
was
a little-
older. I think he's like 37. He's an older guy, but he does this he drops down to shoot, and it was just a really slow shoot, and it caught me off
That
guard.
one
I
right
was like,
there?
I was like, whoa, wait a minute, he didn't even really go for anything right
Right,
there.
kind of threw you off a little bit.
But I was set because right here I was like, man, I'm either gonna pull lasso guard if I feel like I don't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
But then I felt like if I fed him the single leg, which I put my foot right there, and I was like, great, got the single leg.
You wanted that.
I wanted to set up for the guillotine.
Oh, of course you did.
And
And
see,
you
right
tried.
here, yeah,
You
I was
tried.
hanging out. I was like, all right, I got to make sure to get it because if I get it, if I go for it, I only got one chance. So I got to
Right.
make it count.
Mm-hmm.
he was just holding my lapel down and really didn't give me nowhere to go.
You're holding his left arm. Ooh,
Yep.
God, going towards the edge. You're holding his left arm, right? He's not holding your left arm.
No.
You were controlling that.
Yeah, and then they just pull us back so we're not going to be falling off. But right here, I was just relaxing. I ended up doing a leg lockdown that I do right here.
That kind of like, was that quarter guard or something?
Yeah, it's like a quarter half guard. And I mean, literally, I just put that leg lock down so I can set up. I usually try to sweep them over.
Is this a Kimura looking thing?
Yeah, I'm not even going for Kimura, man. I'm literally trying to get a top heavy sweep. And then he sets up like he puts his knee on my bicep.
Mm-hmm. Does that hurt?
Not really. No.
He's not really isolating pressure. He's just holding it down.
He's just holding it down. And like right here, I felt fine. I was like, okay, he's not taking my back. He doesn't have his hooks in yet, so he takes my back. I felt fine right there. I didn't want to stand completely up. I wanted to see what I was able to roll out.
Mm-hmm. So he's trying to take the back.
And the whole time he was holding the back of my lapel, and I really couldn't go nowhere. I tried to stand up, and he'd just grab it back, and I was like, oh, man, it's just...
Are you a little panicky right here? I mean, this is
No. I mean, this whole time, he doesn't have me in a choke or anything. And
you're not really feeling threatened.
If you look at this, look, he doesn't have anything like...
Right.
I mean, there was no pressure on me. My biggest thing is I should have worked more, man. I sat in guard, and I should have.
You tired? I mean, is that why you're not working? Or?
No, I wasn't tired. I think more was just thinking like the one thing I could have changed about this tournament is have a clock somewhere. There was no clock, so we were working 6-minute submission only, and if it went to the judges at the time, judges decide.
Right.
So I don't know how much time I have. I'm rolling to submit, so I'm trying to get the best position to throw the best submission. Right.
But are you saying that not because you're looking like, oh, I only have this much more time rolling? Some submissions take time to set up.
Yes.
So you're like, for instance, I'm not going to set up some backwards omoplata because it takes 10 minutes from where I am.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'd have to put in like 6 more positions, which I'm trying to submit as fast as possible.
Right. You look up, you see you have a minute left, and you're like, okay, I got Kimura and armbar. I got to try for one of those because those are quick, and I don't got much time.
No.
That makes sense.
No, and it was a good match. We kept moving the whole time. That was one thing everybody liked. Okay, so that guillotine, I was so mad. Yeah. I even looked at Lopez. I looked over at him, had my inside lapel.
Just popped out?
Man, I don't know what it was. I literally fell in De La Riva, and I looked at him like I was just in a blank stare like, how'd you pop out of this?
Right.
Because I cinched it down and looked at Lopez like, hey, man, we're going home.
Nice.
Like, but, it happens.
These are interesting, these positions here. Because to me... I'm freaking out watching it. I'm not comfortable in a position like this.
And see right here, I felt fine. He crosses his legs.
Oh,
bro. So I hear him yell, which usually in IBJF rules or anything, if someone goes, that's a verbal tap.
Right.
He did that at least 3 times. But it's cool. I'm not worried about it.
Right.
I would just, no one should cross their legs when you're trying to, work on the back.
Right.
But each time I was able to close his legs up, try to get open. But he tried this weird bow and arrow. He didn't have it in all the way. I felt fine.
Nice.
Yeah, right here. And I just crank right here. He starts yelling. Right there, he was about to tap.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I was like, all right. But we get to a part where you're going to see up here in a minute. I'm not going to tell you, but it's going to be interesting.
So this is the pay-per-view? This is what people saw if they purchased it?
No, I don't think this one's the pay-per-view.
Okay.
I got the pay-per-view one at home.
Okay.
But it was pretty much like this. It was a little bit more...
there was commentary.
Yeah, commentary.
Oh, okay, right.
They were fun.
See, I like this kind of stuff. I love this kind of, amateur martial arts. Like, the stuff that happened, like Colton Kavner and them do, like they just had one in Joplin.
Oh, yeah.
But damn it, dude. Those companies need a little bit more production value. They're this close to being pretty cool.
They got to learn to spend the money.
Yeah, honestly, they do. And they need to learn the process, which maybe they do. I don't know.
And that's a lot of things. People don't know the process. And they a lot of things you have to build value, man.
Right.
And with people nowadays, they want instant gratification, instant now. And it's like, stuff's not done. Like, when I do my pictures and stuff, people are like, hey, can I get that, like, today? And it's like,
of course.
Are you serious? Like, we just did, like, 3 hours of shooting. Like, no.
Right.
Like,
it's Kelsey and I talk about this all the time. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so on this armbar, I tell he's tired in this. I'm going to let go of my arm. Okay, and I grab my lapel because I feel relaxed. He tries to grab my leg so I can't roll into him, but I know he ends up giving it up, and that's when I let go of my lapel because I'm going to roll into him. But the big thing is, I don't know how much time I got left. I'm thinking, man, maybe I got a minute left. So if I roll into him, I can pancake him and then take his back. Because right here,
You actually do have about a minute left.
yeah, and I feel relaxed. I'm like, okay, I can get out of this. I'm not, he's not heavy. Like, I feel fine. He's pulling with 2 arms. I'm not feeling pressure. I'm respecting the submission, but I'm not in any danger. And I was like, okay, I can roll out. If I rock him and I roll into him, I can roll him up and pancake him because I do that. I do it a lot. Time goes out.
Oh, I was like, what was that?
Yeah, and I was like, crap. Like, oh well, nothing I can do about it. Like,
But let's pretend that you could see the clock and you could see 30 seconds and you're in that ending position right there.
Okay, I'll tell you
Wouldn't
right
have
now.
Would you have
I'll
done?
tell you what. If I would have saw a clock and there would have been 20 seconds on
Sure.
that clock, I would have rolled out of that.
You would have attempted to.
I would have.
You would have taken that route.
I would have taken that route to roll out just to get the top position because the big thing is I controlled the first 3 minutes of this match, and what happens is he got the judges win, and he showed the best in the last two, the 2 rounds or the 2 minutes of the match.
Right.
So, and you leave it in the hand of the judges.
Right. Well, he had your back. Well, he was in that. He didn't really have your back, but he was in the back position.
Back position,
which to me is like, oh, not a great.
Yeah.
I'd rather be the guy that took your back than where you are.
Exactly.
But you're like you said, you're comfortable and know what to do in that situation. Me, I'm like, oh shit, this is it.
It was fun. I had fun, man. It was a
Yeah.
great experience, and I don't care to lose, man. I've lost in MMA. I've lost in other things.
Right.
It's part of the game.
Right. It taught you a lot. you
Oh,
know?
yeah, man.
And my God, the weight that you dropped alone is a victory in itself.
Dude. Yeah, dude. And cutting, I cut 30 pounds, dude.
Yeah.
And
in a month. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
in a month. And when I took the match, he said 210, and I was like, yeah, I just said I was 210 because I figured I hadn't been in the gym in a bit. I probably was 220 or something.
Right.
And then I was stepping on the scale, and I was 242, and I was like, oh, dad bod, super hardcore.
Crap. Yeah.
But I knew with the dedication that I do have, and I've done it before, that I could do it.
Right.
And man, it was hard. I'm not gonna lie. Having a newborn now, having a baby was a whole different story of training, being motivated, taking the time, putting time into my home life, because I go to the gym. I was having to go before work, so I'd be up at 5 a.m. At the gym working out when I should be home helping my girl and the baby out. And then
So you felt guilty about
I
it?
felt guilty a little bit. Yeah, and that's why when I'd go train, I'm like, hey man, I'm here to train. I'm here to hey guys, let's roll.
Right.
This time is valuable. You gotta make the most of it.
Right.
Yeah, and that was my big thing, man. And that's what I loved about this, the last couple of weeks, this month of rolling. I've gotten great rolls in, man. I've been training. I felt great. I felt healthy. I felt like I've been in really good shape the last month. And
no doubt.
I didn't come up with the win, but man, I just feel better. I feel healthy. I gained.
But you didn't come up with the W either, though.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it was a judge's thing, and
yeah.
he won, blah, blah, whatever. But you didn't give up anything. That's good.
No, and my biggest thing, man, like I said, man, I got to roll. I like showing my art, and I got to do jiu-jitsu, which I love to do. But man, it's not. I don't care about winning and losing, man. I've fought some good guys. I've fought some bad guys, man. It's part of the game, but. I love it, man. Jiu-jitsu is so much fun.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, the home life, I have so much respect for other people that have kids now that train, and I see where that, how much dedication they have to the sport, because, man, you have to dedicate, time. And in jiu-jitsu, man, it's a lot of dedication. Go training from 7 to 9 at night, my kid's in bed by 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then, I got to come home at 9 o'clock. If I wake that baby up.
Oh. Yeah.
Right? I got to live with that. And then I got to wake up at 5 a.m.
Right.
and go to the gym and then come home and then go back to work. So a lot of dedication, man. But it was a lot of motivation. I felt guilty a little bit, but for the most part, I couldn't feel guilty because I was working my ass off when I was in the gym. Now, if I was going to the gym at 5 a.m. and fucking around, not doing stuff, yeah, I'd feel super guilty.
Yeah, right.
But I was in there killing myself every day, man. I'd hit the sauna, work out, and dude, I was on a 600 calorie diet, man. I know it's not, dude. I know it's not healthy, but I ate healthy. I would do a really good smoothie, super veggies, fruits, the whole 9 yards, and then I'd eat one good healthy meal, baked chicken and stuff like that.
Great.
But I've put my body through some extreme measures before, so I kind of know where my body can go.
Right. When we were in the sauna, that's what you were telling me. It's this time it's a lot easier because I'm doing it the correct way, or a more correct way than I've done in the past.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I ended up missing weight by 2 pounds, which wasn't a big deal because their scales were. But they had 2 scales.
I was gonna say you sent me a Snapchat or an Instagram or whatever, and you were at 212.6 or something.
Yeah,
which was what 215 or no? You were going for 210.
Yeah, I was going for 210.
So 212. You know what the hell?
And yeah, and the big thing was their scales. Both of their scales were off because the guy before me weighed in. He was like, "Whoa, I'm 6 pounds here and 8 pounds." I'm like, "Oh, great!" Like, but hey, that's part of the game. Scales are never right. Never trust the scale.
Right.
But I lost 30 pounds, and that was my goal. But
yeah.
But 2 pounds, man, I literally, and I was upset because I rolled up there with Charles. I spit the whole way up there, Jolly Ranchers and all. Like, so that's one of my things I do. You know, I'm not going to lose 2 pounds doing that. I'm not stupid or anything, but it's one of the things I used to do in the fight game. Even when I was at weight, it was just that mindset.
Right.
And man, it sucked because after I weighed in and I saw that, I was ready to go eat, and we went to Chipotle because I was like, oh, I'm going to eat something, you know, not too heavy, but not too bad.
Chipotle?
Dude,
isn't that pretty heavy?
Yeah, that's what
okay.
I didn't go too heavy, man. I went like rice and some lettuce and some meat. But, dude, I couldn't even finish it. My throat was so tender and raw from the Jolly Ranchers and spitting. I couldn't even finish it. So I was like, I just drank my Pedialyte and drove home.
Oh, wow.
And I think that kind of killed me a little bit, too. Like, I drove there and back Friday and then drove up there Saturday.
Right.
And then drove back Saturday.
That's a lot of time in a car.
It is, but it wasn't too bad. I think my big thing, man, is I think I just need to compete more.
That would, yeah, for sure. That's number one, right?
I think I was just like trying to get like the nerves out and all that, and
that's no, I totally agree. Like the process that you went through, losing weight, training, and everything. Just repeat that over and over and over again. You know, you'll win some, you'll lose some, and like think about Dave. Like how many times has that guy competed on different stages?
Oh yeah,
like backyard. I don't know if he's ever done a backyard bout. I'm sure he has.
He probably has somewhere.
Yeah, I'd like to hear that story, Dave. But he's also done. Shit, I just lost it. The
Taekwondo or
no, the pans. He did pans and stuff like that. And that's the
dude,
that's the center stage.
I went
besides
to I got to go to
Eddie
Pans
Bravo
with him,
or whatever,
dude. And when I went to Pans with him,
when he was a brown belt.
Yes, I went when he was a brown belt when I went, and when I went with him, he competed that year. He didn't win that year, but dude, the guys he went against were just. They were monsters. Really? And, I mean, Lopez and him, I think the guy beat him, like, just by, I think, 2 or 3 points. But they had a really good match. But I'll tell you what, man, Lopez, that dude, he gets – dude, I'm a 215-pound man, 220-pound man, and I don't stand chance with him. No. I mean, dude, it's bad. Last night, dude, I was giving him shit. And I was like, you know, he came at me with, like, a weird-ass little guillotine. And I was like, dude, don't come at me with that. And he was like, what? And I was like, you can't give me with a guillotine. Worst thing to say to a black belt. Right. Never say you can't to a black belt because you know what? That dude, he worked for it. He got it. And, man, he made me pay for it. Right.
I look at him like, you can't let me last all 5 minutes. And then he lets me last all 5 minutes. I'm like, ha, got you. Yep.
No, I loved it at his match. He cross-choked his dude. Did you watch his match?
No. I was going to ask how he did, though.
Oh, dude, he cross-choked his dude. It was so dope, dude. It just from mount, too, like he usually does.
He did it. Oh, so he leaned forward.
Yeah. So that's his like go-to thing, I think. Like,
and he likes the armbar a lot.
He likes the armbar, but when he wants to choke somebody, that's the way he chokes people. And I mean, every time we roll gi, that's his bread and butter with me. Like he likes to sit me in mount and cross choke me so he can stare at me while he chokes me out. Like that's his thing. You know, people in jiu-jitsu we're crazy. We're crazy like that. But I love him. He's cool, man.
Absolutely, dude.
But he was choking that dude, and I just seen it, man. Me and Jason were in his corner, man. We're telling him just, just sit base, relax, and you just watched him choke that dude, and it was like taking his life.
Oh my god! He was
taking that dude. It's Mortal Kombat, finish him.
Oh yeah.
But that was a dope match, man. I was definitely impressed, and as a black belt, he just got his black belt, so him to compete as a black belt already and get a victory, he's doing really awesome, a lot, dude. I can't wait to see what he does at Pans this year, like.
When is Pans?
It'll be in March, I believe.
Oh, that's coming up fast.
Yeah, it'll be coming up, so it'll be getting.
That's in Vegas?
No, that'll be in California somewhere. Probably be like in Irvine or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Charles and Tambry are going. I think Tambry and Lopez are the only two competing.
So like, How big is pans? Is pans like the top, the tip top?
Pans is stupid crazy. Okay. So
Like what's the tip top though?
Okay, so there's pans.
Okay.
Which pans is like the Pan Americans is what they call it, and it's supposed to be like the biggest one.
Right.
But the best of the best go to Worlds.
Okay, Worlds.
Like, yeah, and a lot of people like pans. Like you'll go to pans, you'll win pans, and it's just gi.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's just gi.
Okay.
When you go Worlds, you have Worlds and Worlds no gi Worlds.
So Dustin, right? His name's Dustin, I think.
Dustin,
Our brown belt buddy that trained with
Devin.
the kid Devin.
Devin.
Devin won Worlds.
Devin won. What did Devin win?
Brown belt, no-gi, something.
Yeah, I think he won brown belt no-gi Worlds. Is what he won.
That's fucking serious.
Yeah, and dude, Devin's a monster. I don't care who you are. Like,
Yeah,
that
he
dude,
is.
I've known me and Devin. We've been going back like since I've been fighting. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
he would come down from Kansas City. We met at a house party actually, and he was.
Is
like,
he our age?
Yeah, I think Devin's like a year older than me. He's like 31, I think,
Okay.
32 maybe. But man, dude's a monster, dude. He's been a monster his whole life. And like every time he'd come down and roll with me, it was like he'd come down and it was like, all right, I gotta get ready to get smashed for the next 2 days, like, or however long he'd be down. Like, and there was days where we rolled down on wintertime one time. Man, it was like 15 degrees, and I had no heat in my gym. And I had like a little space heater, and he showed up, and we're on wrestling mats, which if anybody knows, on a wrestling mat, if it gets cold, it's like being on concrete outside.
wow.
I mean, it's hard. And he was like, well, hey, we're here. Let's train. And his buddy, I believe Pork Chop was there, is what his nickname was. And just us three, we just rolled, and like we'd roll by a space heater, and we just, we'd
Just
roll.
soak up the heat.
Yeah, and just keep rolling. And man, we rolled for 2 hours probably.
Huh.
It was dope
Wow.
though, but dude, he smashes me every time. I don't think I've ever beat him. Not even one. Not even come close.
You made the same mistake with him as you did with Dave. You're
Yeah.
like, you ain't gonna get no guillotine
Yeah.
on me. He's like,
Oh yeah, and what that was about.
or so you said I won't tap to a guillotine.
Yeah, I said, man, I haven't got hit. No one's hit me with a guillotine in a minute. And Devin heard that, and I seen his neck break a little bit, and look at me, and I was just like, okay, here we go.
Wait, I think that's the one where we have a picture. I took a picture of Devin.
Yeah, he
Oh,
gave
nice.
me, yeah, it was dope though, man. I love getting choked
See,
out
and
by my friends.
that's yeah. You say this sick fuck. I'm just kidding, but no, that's how jujitsu people are.
Yeah.
Is like it's like a family. It's like almost surfing type. That's the only thing I can refer it to that I know of. But yeah, they love choking each other. And when someone gets me in a really good move, I acknowledge it. And I'm like, dude, that was so cool.
Yeah.
As
yeah,
I'm like
dude.
choking out.
Oh, definitely, dude. That's the best, dude. When you're a friend, like you're rolling with somebody and they just like they throw something and it's just like their thing and they just hit it all the time. You're like, dude, like.
Or it's like a good execution of something. Like I've had people, pull a perfect scissor sweep, and while it's happening, I'm like, fuck, I'm about to get swept, And as it happens, I'm like, that was perfect.
Yeah, nothing can do about it. Here we go. Oh.
No, but you acknowledge like the beauty, like you said, of the art. Oh, that guy pulled off a pristine sweep or whatever it was, and then you kind of get back to reality, and you're like, okay, I gotta defend this because now he's smashing.
Now he's trying to kill me. He's
Yes.
trying to choke me and put me to sleep.
Yes. Ooh. It's okay. I just didn't want that to fall. Yeah, that's good stuff. So pans is only gi.
Yep.
Worlds is gi and no gi, and then there's another one, right? You were leading up to some other one, which
I mean, they do a whole bunch. They do like the Boston and the New York Open.
Like, what would be the most prestigious? Like, if you won something, like, what would, if you said it,
okay,
everyone's belt would come undone.
I believe if I had to be, man, I would say pan would probably be for gi.
Oh, really?
But no gi, I'd want to be like ADC world champion.
Which was what
ADC
Devin did.
No, ADC is its own thing. Like, yeah, ADC is like they just do no gi, and it's like into like Abu Dhabi and stuff like that.
Okay.
And that scene, but I mean, high level no gi jiu-jitsu is at ADC most likely.
Okay. And then there's also like the EBI, right?
Yeah,
And
EBI
that's
and stuff. But
picking up quite a bit.
Yeah, and that combative jiu-jitsu, man, it's fun. I mean, we got to do it.
Yeah. You got to do it.
Yeah.
I just took the brunt of everything. About 10 seconds in, I was like, man, I really regret suggesting that we do this.
You know, though, it's interesting that Eddie Bravo and them came out with that because it reminds me of pancration, which I don't know if you know what pancration is. It's pretty much like slap fighting. You can't like punch in the face, but you can like slap body and
It's
stuff
like
like
MMA.
that. Yeah,
like
but
you and I stand.
yeah,
like
we
MMA.
can stand, we can hit in the body and stuff like that, but you can't hit in the face.
But not fist, though.
Not fist.
It's like,
open hand.
okay.
Yeah, so
I didn't mean to make that
when
noise.
I was actually when I actually went out to California and I was training and living out there.
Yeah.
Pancration was like a thing to do like before MMA was like getting blown up, and I
That's
was like,
interesting.
that makes no sense.
Right.
And then I
Why don't you
seen
just close
EBI
the
and they're
fist?
like doing the open hand strikes. I'm like, that's pretty cool. Which,
But they're pairing it with jiu-jitsu too.
Yeah.
So and that's Eddie's whole thing is, you know, like the rubber guard and things like that. That's based for MMA.
Yeah.
Right? Because no one's going to be you're not very likely to pull guard in MMA.
No, and the thing is, I think Eddie Bravo is just wanting to show how dominant 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu is for
course.
MMA too,
Oh,
because
right, of course.
that's just going to solidify it when you're watching EBI combatives and you're seeing a guy pull rubber guard and he's slapping the shit out of you and you can't do
Right.
nothing about it.
Right.
You know, and that just is going to solidify 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu,
Right.
which is great. Eddie Bravo, you know, hats off to him. He's a great person. So I'm excited. I'd love to try it.
Oh, what? The EBI? Or
Combatives.
Combat, yeah, right.
I think that'd be fun.
See, you know, and Dave and I have talked about this before, but like how tough would it be to get something going in Joplin? Like a Joplin Worlds or something like that.
Like
you
a
know?
Joplin Jiu-Jitsu something like
Just like
event?
maybe every 3 months we send out little letters on owls and they land at jiu-jitsu. I'm just trying to get her to laugh.
The boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know,
Sure.
maybe you know, Matt Club invites different gyms every couple of months. Like, cause you know, like it wasn't EBI, but they were there, but they did this thing, and you might be able to fill in the blanks on this, but it was a tournament where you got like a salary cap, so to speak, in weight and belt rank. So like a black belt, a black belt at 150 to 200 pounds would cost you 10 points, but a white belt that's
I've never heard of that.
okay. So, and I don't know how accurate I am, but I'm just going to tell you how I kind of understand it.
Okay.
And Dave and I talked about it, and he knew what I was talking about. But basically, you have 5 people on your team, and you have a salary cap in the sense of belt rank and weight. And so now you could have 2 black belts and 3 white belts, right? Mm-hmm. Or you could have white, black, blue. You could have a diversity. You could have like a smasher, and you could have a leg locker. You could you could mix and match
It's
however
like a
you.
football team. Like
But yes.
that you're building it out of like jiu-jitsu people.
Right.
Okay.
So then, and this, I don't think this is round robin. Let's pretend that we're on the opposite team, and you and I are first. So we go out, and probably, I don't know if you can pick like who goes out first. Like if they go, oh, you're a purple belt.
You're
I'm a white
thinking
belt.
of the fighting league. I think you're thinking.
It's jiu-jitsu.
Oh, it's jiu-jitsu?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen fighting leagues like that, but I haven't seen jiu-jitsu.
This is jiu-jitsu because the last time it was on, pretty sure it was the UFC app,
Oh, the
and
Fight Pass.
Gordon Ryan's team, they won.
Oh,
But it was Eddie
talking
Bravo's
about-
team was
Five
there.
You're talking
guys
about-
fight each other at the same
No,
time?
No,
you're talking
no.
about when he beat up.
No one's beating up. It's jiu-jitsu.
No, I know jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
He beat. I say beat up
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu.
Right.
But Gordon Ryan beat what's his name?
I don't know.
That big old white guy. He's a freestyle wrestler.
No, that was the one I know you're talking about. That was the one-on-one. This is teams.
No, yeah, the
Oh,
Uriah
okay.
Faber team. Gordon Ryan
That
was on.
sounds
He was
right.
he was like the Uriah team.
Okay, that sounds right.
Yeah, it was like a group of 4 guys, and like
4 or
Gordon
5,
Ryan beat all the dudes.
Yeah.
Because if you win, you keep going.
That's right. And
Yeah.
exactly. So sometimes a guy would do really good and win, but now there's fresh cats coming up and usually would get taken down fairly quickly.
Yeah.
It was not very likely to take down 2 or more people, you know.
Yeah, no,
if
and
you
then-
did, it was like, oh, shit, wow.
Yeah, and then you gotta have the cardio and
Oh God! Like you've literally just done an entire match, worked this guy down, which you might be totally outmatched, weight and rank. But let's pretend you get him.
Josh Barnett was his name.
Okay.
That's who he went against. It was Gordon Ryan versus Josh Barnett. Because Josh Barnett, man, he's a crazy freestyle wrestler, and he was like in Metamorphosis and stuff like that.
That name sounds so familiar. Team Lister. Oh, there it is. I see it. Gordon Ryan. So this quintet, is that what it? This doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of looks like it.
Yeah.
Looks like WWE, honestly.
That was it though.
Dylan Dennis. I didn't know they wrestled. Yeah, this whole world is a little bit. This is totally. That was a great match, him and Craig Jones. So this. Yeah, dude. There's just so many. There's so many different.
There's so many
matches,
different platforms for like
Look at all
jiu-jitsu and where it's
on
going.
it every fucking where is Joe Rogan. That's cool, but I don't know if that's the one I'm talking about. But anyway, that would be cool to have in Joplin.
Dude, I would love to see something in Joplin like that because I mean Joplin's growing, but man, I've always like thought it'd be cool to have like a monthly or like a season almost of like, you know, you get like 6-7 gyms and you're like, hey, you know, you give everybody a roster so you know like, hey, there's people in your weight class or, you know, people are getting ready for tournaments and stuff. You know, hey, like have a monthly tournament and hold it at different gyms. So you know what? Not only are you going to bring money to those gyms because you're going to have people being there,
Right.
but I mean, it's just gonna, you know, you're gonna get to share jiu-jitsu with people, and that's what it's all about.
How many gyms do we have?
I mean, there's
At least 3, right?
I mean, I know there's a gym in Pittsburgh. You know, Andrew,
Oh, yeah,
Andrew Brown,
A4s.
Andrew
Or
Brown,
not.
and
Is
them.
it A4s?
No, it's
Arise.
Arise, BJJ.
Yeah.
Andrew Brown, and then A4s.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got Mac Club, Springfield BJJ.
There's
I mean,
one Victory.
I mean, there's so many gyms, and I know people would be.
I didn't
part
know
of it.
that. That's
yeah, dude. There's
crazy.
so many gyms. This is popping up like 10 years ago though. There was like one.
If we were lucky.
Yeah, like there was no jiu-jitsu 10 years ago in Joplin. That's for sure.
Austin's dad was the only person I know of.
Oh yeah, Austin's dad was.
And that was out of his fucking garage.
Yeah, he taught out of his garage, and like we did our MMA. Like I came back from California, and like I was teaching like our MMA guys like no gi MMA. But there was no like real jiu-jitsu, and even like at that time jiu-jitsu was at its like basis form. It was just like, oh, here's how to get out of guard,
Right.
here's how to throw a basic triangle, and here's how to throw an arm bar,
Right.
you know, the basics, which that'll get you through a couple fights.
Absolutely.
I mean, and
Well,
it's crazy today, dude. I see the amateur fight scene, and I still see no good jiu-jitsu. Like it surprises me that, you know, I see these guys and I'm like, hey, you guys doing any jiu-jitsu? Where do you go to jiu-jitsu? Nowhere.
They don't.
They don't train jiu-jitsu.
Well, why is that?
I don't know. And I'm like, and I understand, like, you got to understand too, going to jiu-jitsu, you have to convert it into MMA because you're going to be getting punched.
Yeah, right.
But like, have some kind of sense of you go to the ground, like you want to have some kind of protection because all fights go to the ground. I don't care who you are. If you're a good stand-up guy and you hit somebody, they're going to fall and go to the ground. So you either got to knock them out
You
or
let
you're
them
going
stand
to hit
back
them
up.
and live back up or you're going to go down with them.
Right, right.
So you should know something. And like, I know Missouri's full of wrestlers, and it's like wrestlers, jiu-jitsu would be perfect for you because you pick up jiu-jitsu at a young age while you already had that 10-year of wrestling. Dude, just imagine what you can do in 5 years in MMA.
Dude, the guys that come in that have a wrestling background are the worst. Like, they are worst as in, like, the best. Like, they roll hard.
Dude, because they know how to do it. They know they know the grind.
Right.
And if you can show them how to play, and I hate to say this, but I call it checkers chess.
Right.
Wrestling's checkers, jiu-jitsu is chess.
It is, though. It is, right? Because, you know, wrestling, I'm trying to pin your shoulder blades.
Yeah, I'm just trying to pin you. It's like a basic game. Hey, I'm just trying
There's
to pin
one
you.
out, right? Yeah. There's no other way to...
I think you can tap, but I think like you have to head like a head and arm. I don't know. I didn't wrestle.
Right.
But
there's not as many combinations and setups.
And that's why I say
everything.
jiu-jitsu is like chess because there's so many different situations, so many different moves, positions you can run. But if those wrestlers could just pick up jiu-jitsu at a young age, like you know, right out of high school and start learning jiu-jitsu and then get into MMA, bro, they'd be fierce, bro.
God,
because some of these wrestlers, man, they'll get into parts where I'm like, you know, you could have won that fight if you would have, you know, known to just hip out right there, kick your arm over, you know, you'd have something. But they're like, oh, like I only know to hold them there, and I don't know what else.
I don't know what to do with them, right?
Yeah.
And lately, specifically with UFC, the guys that are winning are wrestlers, right? The guys that are taking 2 titles in 2 different weight classes, they have a wrestling background, which I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I think, would say it does.
And I think what has to do with it is wrestling, but I think with those wrestlers too, which they don't float it, is jiu-jitsu. They have jiu-jitsu, and if they say they don't do jiu-jitsu, they're lying because wrestlers, like anybody, I mean, they are stubborn guys, and they're not going to be like, oh, well, jiu-jitsu. No, they're going to say, hey, I'm a wrestler. Like, so some of those guys that are 2 title holders and stuff like that,
Right.
they have a good jiu-jitsu game, and it's because they're a great wrestler. So, yes, their wrestling does help them with that.
Right.
But it's because they have jiu-jitsu. If they were just a plain wrestler, I don't think they'd be a champion.
Nearly as right. That makes sense because you can only do so much with wrestling.
You
It's a
can-
huge
yeah.
foundation.
Like wrestling,
body control and
you can be
pressure
really good
and
at
all that
taking
kind of stuff.
someone down, but if you
Right.
can't do nothing with that takedown,
Right.
then what are you doing?
Right. You wasted a whole bunch of energy and
Yeah, hey, take me down for the first round. I guarantee you're going to be tired the second round.
right.
Like, you take someone down 3 or 4 times, you're tired.
You are, yeah.
Like, you're tired. I don't care who you are. And if you're getting punched and kicked and kneed, like,
Well, and then not only if you aren't getting punched, kicked, or kneed, you are thinking and you are watching at all times, like making sure there's nothing coming at you, and that takes a ton of energy.
oh, dude, so much.
Your radar's on full blast all the time. You just taking checks, like, okay, his arms are still there. You're not really thinking it, but your subconscious is on that.
I miss that. I think that's what I miss about like MMA though. Like the whole like you have to be on your jiu-jitsu. You always have to be on your feet because you might get choked out. But like in MMA, like you get real hurt.
Yes.
I mean, someone could really hurt you. You
Consequences
could get elbowed. You could get punched, kicked, kneed, a foot in the eye. It can happen.
That wouldn't be good.
Well, did you see that Megan Anderson, the UFC girl?
Uh-oh.
She kicked that cat. What's that cat's name? Girl's name. Her name's Cat something on the UFC.
Kat Von D.
No.
Oh.
No. It wasn't Kat Von D, but it was Cat something.
Yeah.
Ziggy or
I
whatever.
don't know.
But they fought, and she got kicked in the eye. The Megan Anderson's toe went into the girl's eye, and they said she lost. And they gave Megan Anderson the win.
Mm-hmm.
But what's crazy is, like, if you go to poke somebody in the eye, that fighter that pokes you in the eye gets DQ'd.
Oh, really? Just done?
Yeah, they get DQ'd. Like, so if I poke you in the eye and you can't finish, I'm DQ'd because I poked you in the eye, right?
Right.
So what's the difference between if I throw a kick and my toe goes into your eye?
Right. That's the controversy.
Because, like,
in this girl's case, that she won.
She couldn't continue
The one that
because she
kicked
got
her.
kicked in the eye.
But she didn't win. The one that got kicked in the eye.
Yeah, the girl that got kicked in the eye, she didn't win.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that don't seem right.
That don't seem right. I was like, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because if I was a fighter and I go to poke you in the eye and you can't see or
Right.
blind or whatever, and they have to call it,
Right.
I'm getting DQ'd. I'm losing.
Right. So, has anyone talked about it? Like,
I don't know. I haven't seen really too much media on it, and I'm
That's
like, wonder if they're
interesting.
just like,
don't talk about it.
maybe no one will notice.
Yeah. Right. That's crazy. I don't know. I feel like that would be like front page. We need to talk about this. Is a little loophole in our system.
I mean, it's an interesting case, I would say, because
It doesn't happen, obviously,
Well, I mean,
that much.
And if I was that cat girl, I'd probably argue a little bit too, like, hey, what's up? Because
Right.
I mean, there's money involved, and I mean,
Exactly.
they got a lot of money, like.
More money and titles and records and all that.
Oh yeah, especially girl MMA. I mean, girl
Oh,
MMA,
man.
it's like, one fight really tells you where your career goes.
Right. There's just not that many out there to base off of records and everything.
No.
I didn't know how prominent that was until I had the podcast with Colton. And he was talking about, when you go pro, that's it. Like,
Yeah,
your
there's no-
pro career starts and you can't ever go back. You can't,
Yeah.
delete it.
That's what's nice. Like amateur, you can do whatever you want, but once
Lose 16 fights, it won't matter.
Once you sign that dotted line and you're
Yeah.
a pro fighter,
Yeah.
it's all on you.
And that's crazy. Can you do that with any other sport? Can you just be like, I'm a pro golfer?
You know,
Like,
I don't know. I wish they had like a certain like classification for you to go pro. Like
fighting.
like they should have requirements because some guys that go pro shouldn't go pro.
No.
Like there's some guys I understand they're just like, oh, I make a quick buck.
Yeah, but some of them are not fighters at all.
And
That's dangerous.
and I think
Absolutely.
if they had more requirements, you could actually end up paying better.
We'll have better shows,
You
right?
could have better shows, which you could pay fighters
matches.
more money because you're going to have people there that are serious because they're going to have their blood work, all
Right.
that stuff done. They're going to be,
Oh, they're hungry.
yeah, they're hungry. And if you fit all the requirements, like, hey, you got to fight 10 amateur fights,
Right.
fight 10 amateur fights.
You don't have to win.
Yeah.
You just have to experience.
Get something on your belt. Because if you go pro, bro, I mean, there's guys out there that, they could be training for 20, 30 years and it could be
Right.
their first pro fight.
Right. And it's you.
Yeah. Right? Wouldn't that suck?
That would be terrible.
Like, hey, this is your first pro fight.
Mine too.
Yeah.
How long you been training?
Dude, just imagine like Lopez. What if Lopez had a pro MMA fight?
Ooh, that freaks me out.
He wouldn't even need stand up. But just imagine if
All he'd have to do is block until it.
Yeah,
I mean, even if he didn't, he might have some MMA
I'll tell you what,
skills,
he
but
can
let's
take-
pretend he doesn't.
Oh yeah, and he can take a punch because we used to spar back in the day, so he can take a punch.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, I believe it.
And I would just just like that though. It'd be his first fight. He's never fought, so his first MMA.
What are you gonna do with him?
Yeah. What if you fought him amateur? Like, oh good.
And you're like, well, I went to 2 jiu-jitsu classes. Like
Yeah.
this guy's a black belt.
But that's why there needs to be requirements, though.
Right.
Because the safety of people, like they don't want to see people getting hurt, but also you want to see good shows. When you go to an MMA fight, I don't want to see 0-3 fighting 4-4 or
Yeah.
5-0 fighting 2-9.
This
It's
last walkout FC was like that. It was not very exciting. There were probably 3 fights that I was like kind of pumped up for, and that's because I knew the guys. But besides that, these people that I don't know, their records were like terrible. Either 1-2, 0-2. Maybe 2-0. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and see,
Fantastic.
and I understand they're trying to give, like they want to give
For sure.
Like I understand. Well, I mean, we'll go way back. And I understand he's trying to give fighters, everybody, he wants to give everybody a chance because he's a fighter. He knows
Right.
how it is.
Right.
And it's hard to give fights back in the day.
Yeah.
And I understand he's building a show and doing his thing, but, that happens. You're going to get fights on fight cards that are just like, but you got to have them on there.
Yeah.
It's one of the things, and you hope maybe that fight will help that fighter turn around and build his career back up or get that motivation. But, man, some of those guys, man, they just... If they had some kind of requirement or something like, hey, if you lost a fight,
Standard.
they come and talk to you and say, hey, man, we noticed that you're lacking this and if you're not part of a gym. Because there's a lot of guys that are independent fighters. Mm-hmm. And they'll show up by themselves with some buddies or some friends, but have someone say, hey, man, we looked at you need to do some ground game. You should, go to jiu-jitsu or,
That'd be cool.
put that out there because
Right.
I think a lot of guys don't get that.
Oh, of course not.
And they're like, oh, man, because everybody's in that mindset of, oh, we don't cross-train or don't
That's
go
so
here.
weird.
Dude. It's so stupid.
It's so
Like,
weird.
I remember back in the day when I trained MMA, no one cross-trained. Like, it was a big thing when I got back from California, me and TJ and D Allen and a couple other guys met up and we would cross-train. And it was like a big thing because coaches would be like, oh, if you're cross-training, you're showing our martial art to somebody else. And it's like, well, it's not yours to begin with.
Right,
Like,
right.
I
You're
don't-
going to tell them all
yeah,
my secrets.
Yeah, you didn't write the book. Like,
Yeah.
I watched that on YouTube last week. So
Right,
is he in trouble too? Like, what's up?
Right. He
But-
stole your secret too, man.
Yeah. So, and that was a big thing, man. Like, you got to cross train.
Right.
And, and I love how they don't have Joplin fighters fighting Joplin fighters anymore. That was so stupid.
How come?
Because, man, like, Joplin's a small area. Like, they're growing. But if you have ever been outside of Joplin, Joplin's small.
No.
No,
Yes, I know.
Yeah, Joplin's tiny, dude. And people are like, oh, they're so big.
You're right.
And they'll have like, and I love it, man. They have so many MMA gyms, but they only have like
Right.
2 or 3 fighters per MMA gym, and it's like,
And then of the 2 or 3 fighters, there's probably like maybe one that's okay.
Yeah.
You got some skill and you got some drive.
exactly. And just imagine if you put that drive around 6 other like-minded people or 10 other like-minded people with you. Like, just imagine how much you would grow.
Right.
But then they would have like Joplin fighters fighting Joplin's fighters. So you're like, oh, I can't come to cross train because so and so
I
trains
see.
with him, and it's like.
It causes a lot of like unnecessary animosity.
Yeah, and
because you're on that street and I'm on this street.
Yeah, it's so
Okay,
stupid.
I see what you're saying.
And I've never been like that. I've always been like, hey, you want to train? Let's train.
It would be tough for me, I'll admit. Like if I was at a gym
Oh, and,
and
it is
you're
tough.
at a different gym and
Oh,
I'm
dude.
fighting you and you're wanting to come roll with me, like that
Dude,
would
It was so hard at the
be
beginning
weird,
because
yeah.
there would be you go to other gyms, and I've been to other gyms before where I got
Yeah.
invited to come to a gym, and it was really weird. Like
Yeah.
you're like, do I roll hard?
Yeah.
Or how do I do this? Or and then are they just here to because they want to whoop my ass? Like what's going on?
yeah.
But I mean, for the most part, man, you just got to get out there.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you make friends is roll with
You
them.
just got to roll, dude. And that's how I've made a lot of my friends is just rolling.
Dude, and Dave, I think Dave does a lot of the heavy lifting for us because we can go to a gym and we say, hey, we came from Mount Club, and they're like, oh you're
yeah.
Dave's boys. Like
yeah,
we
dude.
kind of get
Well, dude,
not
we
the
had-
royal treatment, but we're kind of okay. It's a check mark on us, like you cool.
And that's what's nice about jiu-jitsu. As long as you're good to other people,
Yeah.
dude, you're golden. You can roll wherever you want, man. You can get invited all over the United States to
Right.
go roll because You're just a good person. And
Right.
that's what's so cool about jiu-jitsu is
Right.
like, as long as you have that good mindset, bro, you can do whatever you want.
There are nightmare stories about jiu-jitsu,
Oh, yeah.
but there's way more awesome stories about, we went to this gym and we got housed here. Like the cat that came from Texas or whatever, Dave Husley, he was cool as shit. He invited us down to go to his stuff, and he knew all this kind of. I mean, it's a very tight knit group.
Dude, when Walkout FC was here for their last show, we had open mat on that Saturday, and we had guys from Denver, Colorado that were black belts.
Oh,
And they were like, "Hey, can we come roll?" And we're like, "Dude, yeah, we're having open mat today."
yeah.
So, dude, we came in at open mat. We had like 3 or 4 black belts on the mats. Had a couple
Wow.
of purple belts, brown belts. It's like that's a Saturday, like.
Yeah.
And to have that, and those guys are like, "Hey, man, you guys in Colorado, come see us.
Right.
We'll take care of you guys.
Yep.
We got a gym. You come train with us. We're here." And it's like, to have that, dude, it's amazing.
It is. Some people will say, like, especially in the past, like, oh, martial arts, it's kind of culty. It's kind of like,
Dude,
you got to bow to your sensei and all this kind of stuff. But I will argue that there are good things about cults too, and one of them is that you have a tight knit family because of this one thing that you share. They could be Republican, Democrat, their politics could be all over the place. Their sexuality could be all over the place, but at least you do share that one.
common interest.
You got, oh, I see you wearing the belt. I'm wearing the belt too. Like, that's all I need to know. Like, if you're getting choked out and you like choking people out, you're probably a pretty decent human.
And that's the thing. When I see somebody with a gi, and I see they have a gi, and they usually, if they are like a blue belt or up, white belt people, they're all new.
We don't know if they're going to last.
Yeah, you don't know if they're going to last. But anybody like a blue belt and up, I look at them, I'm like, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
You like to choke people.
Yeah.
I like to choke people. We're a special kind of people.
Absolutely.
And that's real talk.
Right.
Like, people like laugh about it and they're, oh, that's funny. Real talk.
It is.
We like to choke people, and it's a weird habit. I don't know what it is.
I speculating on the idea, like, I don't really know where it comes from. I think it's maybe like a power thing. Like, I could kill you.
Yeah.
I could have killed you, but you tapped and we're cool, so.
Well, that's like what I think.
But then the next round, you're killing me, so.
Well, I think that was like Eddie Bravo said one time. He's like, dude, I hold their life in my hand. Like, if I really wanted to, I could choke you out and not let go.
Yeah.
And I could just hold it.
Yeah.
And just sit there. And you turn blue, and then you die.
You'd shake a little bit.
And then I go home.
Yeah.
You could literally kill somebody.
And the cops would kick your door in, and
yeah, it'd be over with. But still, like, to have that power, and then you just let it go.
But it's not. Yeah, I agree. But it's not malicious.
No,
that's the thing that I think maybe people will get confused with.
Yes.
Like, oh, you wouldn't just hold their life in your hand.
Yeah, it's not like that, though.
It isn't, though.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
It can
about
be
respect.
Yeah, and it's all about respect
of other humans. You guys are there to do the same thing. I watch it from the second hand all the time, and it's beautiful because you guys go out there. You all have the same mentality in mind. You're all there to benefit each other. You're all there like this little brotherhood. It's amazing, and I don't think it's a power trip. I think it's more of a I respect you and I respect everything you're putting into this and who you are, and it's beautiful to watch.
Oh, absolutely. But I think there's also a tinge of humility, even to the person that's doing the choking.
Yep.
Because they know, like, this could have been me.
Yep.
It was this close. Like, oh, this guy almost had my back. I was that close. Yep. Now I'm doing it to him. And you know that in the future, this could be you. So it's kind of like a mutual, like,
oh, yeah. And the big thing in jiu-jitsu, too, that just because you had that role, you still have another role after that.
Right.
And after that, you have another role.
Right.
And another role. So, I mean, you're going to, and that's what I love about jiu-jitsu. You lose all the time. I've lost track how many times I've won and lost.
Oh, don't even try. Don't even try.
Yeah, there's some guys like, oh, man, I didn't lose all week. I'm like, dude, I tapped out like 4 times today. Like, what's up?
Don't
like,
you go roll by roll? You just kind of
like,
wow, I tapped out that last roll, but I had 2 good setups of this. And then you go to the next one. And then, oh, I tapped him out. That's awesome. Especially at our gym, like, I'll roll with someone, and maybe the first roll is super intense. Like, we're going 100 miles an hour. And he taps me or whatever. And then it's like, all right, dial it down to 20. All right, I'm thinking of like Eric, brown belt, really good roller, really good guy. He'll tap me out 4 times in a row or something. But then he'll dial it down so much, he's like, all right, take my back. And you start in this really dominant position, which to me would take me ages to get on him, but he's going here, start here. And it benefits us both.
Oh, yeah.
It puts me in a good position as a lower belt, and it puts him in a bad position as a higher belt, and we still get to train. And hell, I might tap him out by taking his back because he let me. But he doesn't give a fuck.
No, and he doesn't. And that's what's cool about Eric. He's so methodical, and like he's methodical to the point when he teaches too. It's like that. Like he knows like, hey, I need to work on people taking my back. So he's going to say, you know, and he knows like, hey, you're not going to get to my back. Go ahead and get to my back.
Right.
So he's already putting himself in that bad situation, knowing that the odds against him are bad now.
Right.
And for him as a brown belt to do that, that is awesome. Because a lot of people, they don't want to be in a bad position. I hate to say that, but I think people have gotten stubborn in their ways, and like you'll see in jiu-jitsu, people don't want to go somewhere, so they'll just sit and wait, and they don't want to put themselves there. And it's like you got to put yourself there because if you don't, you're stalemate.
Yeah.
I mean, go back to chess. You're stalemating. If you're not doing anything, you're not progressing. You're just waiting to get beat.
Right. And you will find yourself in that position at some point.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's a great thing about jiu-jitsu that I understood immediately. The first time I rolled with Jeremiah in the old gym in Webb City. It's like, you want to roll? I'm like, not really. I just wanted to. He slaps my hand. We go. And, you know, the person that I was before that roll and the person after were not the same person. Yeah. You know, I'm like, I'm a big guy. I'm strong. I could, as I'm walking down, you know, in Walmart, I'm like, I could beat that guy up. Now I don't know. Now I have no idea. But I'm way better for it because I understand my body and my mindset and my drive a hell of a lot better than I thought that I did. Just because I'm rolling with guys and literally being humbled over and over and over and over again, going like, oh shit, I can't do that, can I? If I want to, I better train it.
Dude, it's the best humbling experience though.
It is.
It is, dude. To like just get submitted, dude. You're just like, yeah. Like, he could have just
snap my arm.
He could have, you know, he could have been Dustin.
Mm-hmm.
He could have just went a little bit farther.
Yeah, Dustin's. Yeah, he's scary, man.
Dude's a scary guy.
I want him on the podcast, but I'm afraid to like sit this close to him for that long.
Bro, if you could sit that long, man, good luck. Nah,
Yeah,
he's a cool guy. He's cool.
He's come a long ways from where he was.
Yeah, man.
Did you see his older videos?
Oh, yeah, dude. And I'll tell you what, man. You know, Devin trains under him, and that's why Devin's the way he is. And I'll tell you what, man. I love how Dustin teaches because he teaches like the most realist way. Like, hey, because this, when it comes down to it, this is for safety. Like, you know, when we look at the real picture, like we do this stuff because in case something does happen, that situation does come out, you can really hurt somebody so you can protect you or your family. And Dustin shows that. He shows you like, hey, you need to put that all the way in because you know what? If something does happen, I want you to know what it feels like.
Right.
And you need to know what it feels like, and you need to know how to put it in so you know, like, oh, if I need to hurt somebody, I can just go all the way through. If I finish all the way through, I'm safe.
Right.
I'm in the safe zone.
I know that I'm fine at this position.
But I'll tell you what, man, training it.
People don't understand.
Oh, dude, and I'll tell you what, not everybody's built for him.
No.
There's a lot of people. There's a guy, I'm not going to mention his name, but he did like a private with him, man.
Oh, really?
And, you know, you could just tell Dustin was trying to break him because the dude just needed broke.
Yeah.
And he just wasn't.
Kind of sense that.
Yeah.
Sense it in him.
His head wasn't in it. His head was in it for the wrong reason. And I think Dustin broke him of it after the seminar, man. And it was good.
Good.
But
yeah, he changed. I told Dave, like, that guy changed my life and my view on jiu-jitsu. And Dave's like,
dude.
yeah, same.
Dude,
same.
it happens, dude.
Well, one, I didn't know that someone could be that at that level with jiu-jitsu or anything. You know, I'm like, this guy is a true killer. Truly could. If you just took the chain off, I don't know what that guy could do.
Yeah, just imagine you're walking down the street and he bumped into you and you're like, fuck you, dude. I did. Just imagine that. I
don't know what would happen.
Dude, Ted Bundy.
Your head would be in the center of the
Ted
street.
Bundy is what would happen.
Oh, man.
Bro, it'd be horrible.
He's capable of that, you know? That's what blows my mind. But then also just the intensity of his training. His mental intensity, his physical intensity.
Bro, that's what you want.
That's meant for me and you know, we'd pick up on that instantly. I don't like it at the same time. It's like a love-hate, like, why don't you talk to me nicer? You know, part of me is like, all right, I need to show up. Like, one, I don't want to disappoint this guy. And two, like, I need to listen because he's giving it to me 100% pure. You know, he's not sugarcoating it. He's not going, pretty good job. He goes, no, that's bullshit. Yeah. It looks like shit.
Yeah.
Like,
do it again. You need to go. You tap too early.
Yeah.
Early tappers. I love it, dude. Oh, no, you tapped early, Patrick.
Yeah.
Put it in, and Devin would be like, all right, dude.
Yeah.
And sink it in on me. Like,
right. And one, like you said, you feel it for sure. You know, like, okay, when I'm in a match or whatever, even if I'm fighting for my life, this is what it feels like to know
Oh,
that I
yeah,
ain't coming
dude.
back. I ain't coming back.
No, there is no coming back. But dude, I love jiu-jitsu for what it doesn't offer me like in the gym, but what it offers me out of the gym.
Oh wow.
Because jiu-jitsu, the way I think about everything, like I play everything, I have like, I'm thinking like 6-7 moves ahead because of like what jiu-jitsu offers me and like how I can understand things and like being humble. Like people get so tired of me talking about like just being all about good vibes and like good
Right,
energy.
right.
I can take any situation and make it a positive situation. And it's because of like what jiu-jitsu shows me.
Oh
like,
really?
Like
Really?
dude, like in jiu-jitsu, no matter what you're in, there's a way out.
Right. Even a full
Dude, I don't
headlock,
care.
rear naked choke.
Rear naked choke, full headlock, hooks in.
I didn't know that.
You can still get out, dude. If you, I mean, are you willing to work for it?
Right.
I mean, yeah, there's a way out. You just got to work for it. And a lot of people, they don't have that effort, man. They don't want that. They don't want that little extra.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Jiu-jitsu helps me a lot in life, man. It just makes me analyze things a lot better and like not to rush through things, man. Because like I'm a person where I'm like, man, if I can just jump to point A to point B like that, I'm gonna do it.
Me too.
But with jiu-jitsu, I'm like, man, I can analyze. I can look at every situation. So when I do pick the best situation, it's for the I've already looked at every other route. Because in jiu-jitsu, you might look at one position, but there might be 6 positions in that one.
Right.
And
The
you're like,
variations.
Yeah, because there's so many different little, you can hip out here and, push the hips out here, or you can sweep over and do the triangle or go omoplata from the triangle. Like,
And then literally, if he or she is moving their body, that is changing the variations. Because there could be something that's not there, but they put their arm down to like support themselves and okay, 2 things just showed up.
That's why I like the triangle to armbar to omoplata, bro.
Yeah, the triple threat.
Dude, it's triple threat, bro. You can play it anywhere, and it's like, okay, I don't have it here. Well, I go armbar. Oh, I don't got armbar. I go omoplata. I don't got omoplata. I'll revert to triangle. Like,
Right.
And eventually, if I throw 3 moves at you for 6 minutes, one of those moves are going to land.
Right.
And that's just like
Highly likely that, yes,
Yeah,
one of these is going to hit.
Yeah, and then that's just like life. Whatever you decide you're going to do or whatever situations, that's how you look at it. You just got to play it out like, okay, if I'm going to go here, this is what I got to look at.
Right.
Like, it's this route, and this route.
Right. Something with jiu-jitsu, though, right? Because other things that people pick up don't really affect their lives that much. Like,
No.
I can't speak to this, but like people that pick up carpentry, they're not like, I look at my life differently now that I started making furniture.
Yeah,
Not to
no.
make fun of those people, but it
Dude.
just does not have the same effect.
I'll tell you what.
Lifting weights, my God. I power lift, and you do as well. And you as well. It does not change your life like
Dude.
jiu-jitsu did or
I
does.
take pictures. I go hiking. I
the world?
lift. It doesn't make me like jiu-jitsu makes me feel like it's just like it makes me analyze life like in a whole different way. And it's, unless you do jiu-jitsu, you don't understand.
And you don't have a choice in analyzing your life. Like the second you roll for the first time, your whole life, your whole life just rolls out, and it's like, all right, let's check this out. And you're like, I don't want to. It's like you rolled.
Yeah, this is what you get for rolling.
It is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I did not have a choice. Jeremiah and I rolled. I sat with my back against the wall, and I'm like, oh shit.
But
there's so much I thought that I knew that I don't.
Okay,
I'm such a pussy.
But here's the real thing. I'm only a purple belt, and you're only a blue belt.
Right.
And we're already mind
Only
blown.
a blue.
We're mind blown at this
right.
level.
Yeah.
And the way I analyze life at this level, I can only imagine like black belt, like how that is going to work out. And I only imagine like that's why Eric is so methodical in his rolling, and that's why Lopez, the way he rolls, man, he rolls like a black belt. Like, dude is like prestige. Like,
Yeah, he is, dude.
I can only imagine getting up there, though. I mean,
it makes me think, and I'm not a parent, but you guys are. It's like when you're young and ambitious, you have a way of thinking, and then when I hear that when you have a kid, the child reminds you of a lot of things that you kind of forgot about like on the way, about maybe the way that that they think, like their thinking doesn't have much limitation. They can connect the dots all over the place, and you're like, whoa, I haven't thought like that since I was a kid, And to me, that's kind of what probably Dave experiences, and Eric too, and everyone that's a higher belt, and they look back on these whites and blue belts, and they're like, man, they see all the ways that they think that are not correct, that are not logical in the sense of, do not put your arm up like that because that is he armbarred you. I could have told you that.
Like why are you stepping
but they're
your leg
just
over?
they're learning and experiencing through those people's perception just because of what they know. just in the same way as like you're going to look at your daughter and you're like, don't put your finger in that light socket or, you know, whatever. Not that, but you're like,
It'll
I know what's
happen.
You can look at that situation and go, I know how this ends. I feel like that's how Dave and people with that caliber can do. Like, not only are they teaching themselves or learning from other badasses and progressing in themselves, they can look back on these other people and see progression and learn and draw lessons from them if they're good. And Dave's fucking good.
Oh, dude, Dave's an awesome teacher, dude. I love learning from him.
We're so lucky to have him in a place like this.
Oh yeah, dude. And what's cool is when I first met Dave, man, that dude was a funny cat, man. He was. We were both actually blue belts, man, when we first started, man. And that dude, I mean, he took off, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like, he even told me, man, like, hey, I'm gonna be a black belt one day. Like,
Nice.
And I knew he would. When he said it, I knew he was gonna stick with it. And dude's been killing jiu-jitsu ever since.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, dude.
Killer.
I think I've only beat him like twice my whole life.
Oh, really?
And that was when he was like a blue belt.
I don't think I've ever even sniffed.
And I don't even think he was a blue belt when he was with me. He might have been actually he had probably just got his purple belt actually when I was a blue belt. Is what it was. But dude, I remember I beat him once and he made me pay for it. And then the second time I beat him, he made me really pay for it. And
Really?
I've never got him again. Like I've been on the chase ever since.
Jesus.
And it's like one of those. It's like I'm trying to catch that.
Right.
What people would call that high.
Chasing the dragon.
Yeah, I'm just chasing that dragon or that high, and I'm just chasing to get Lopez once.
Oh man.
And then it'll be nice because one day I'll get him, and then I'll start all over again.
Right. He'll make you pay for it.
He'll make me pay for it, and then I'll just like, all right, gotta start all over.
Yeah, I feel. I always think of the scene in Fast and Furious. Dude almost had you.
Yeah.
I've done that to Dave before. I'm like, dude, in my head, you know, I'm like, dude almost had you, and I can only imagine like he wasn't even threatened.
Yeah.
He's just like, that was a fun roll. You know?
That was like a guy. I forgot who it was. He came and rolled at our gym. He wasn't part of our gym or anything,
Yeah.
but he was rolling with people, and he's like, "Oh man, I almost had you," and we're like,
That doesn't count.
Okay, roll with me one more time.
Yeah.
Here we go, Neon Belly.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Charles, come queso him.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's an interesting way of thinking, especially with jiu-jitsu.
Oh, I know.
It's an ego thing, right?
Oh,
it's
it is.
I almost got you, so yeah, you did get me, but I almost had you.
Yeah.
So
Those guys are funny though, man. Those guys, they learn or they just leave jiu-jitsu and pick something else up.
everybody's got their way of learning and growing. You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
It's like if that's what they're dealing with, great. You know, because I got my own ego issues. You know, and if that's what they're dealing with, it's a bummer because we're all cool in this. Most of us are cool in this community, and you could be cool too. But if that's what you're dealing with, then okay, whatever. You know.
I'll tell you what, man. I got my ass beat. That's how I lost my ego real quick.
Well, you're talking MMA.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would definitely do it.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's why I love Fight Club so much.
Oh, yeah,
the
dude.
whole philosophy and the ideology
Dude, it's
behind
smart,
Fight
dude.
Club is like,
Dude, and I think everybody should fight at least once. And I mean, not anarchy, like try to kill somebody,
Right.
but you know what? Have a sanctioned fight.
Yeah.
You know, have people that are there to make sure everyone's cool. It's not like, hey, if you hit him, 3 people are jumping in, and then you got to fight 3 people.
Right.
You know, it's hey, you know, sometimes I hate to say this, but as men, we need to exert energy like that. We need to be physical with each other. We need to be, you know, fighting. Like,
you shouldn't hate to say that. It's 100% true.
we should do it. It's in our human nature.
Right.
Like you see animals fight all the time, and it's just that's nature. People see two lions fighting. What are they doing? Oh, they're playing. Like,
Right.
So for me and you to fight, what's you know?
Well,
Well, as we're not there to kill each other.
Right. It's really a learning experience.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because I was listening to a podcast yesterday that talked about this, specifically with martial arts, is that men specifically walk around maybe training certain martial arts, but they have this angst in the back of their mind of like, would it really work? You know, like I'd never really tried this in a full combat situation, like a bar or a gathering of some sorts.
Hey.
So if you did, like you said, if you had this sanctioned, safe place, like, all right, you're probably gonna go through a lot of emotions. You're gonna be angry. You're gonna be egotistical, but it's fine as long as you keep it together. Get in this ring, you guys fight, and then you come out. I guarantee, like you said, these are gonna be different people.
Oh yeah,
The guy that's all, I've never been in a fight.
Okay, just imagine the guy. Say you're bullied.
Yeah.
Say you're just that guy that gets bullied all the time. You're like, man, I'm not going to be able to fight, but I want to be able to like not be afraid.
Like
So
release that, and release the anger.
Release that. Like, hey, go,
Yeah.
you know, go sanction fight, get beat up. You know, a lot of people that get beat up, they learn that like, oh shit, I can take a punch, or hey, that wasn't bad. Like, okay, you know, and people. I mean, some people that wherever they come from in life have, might have been sheltered or might not have seen a lot of things. Man, a fight will open your life.
Oh yeah,
dude, you'll be surprised of you'll just be like, oh my God, I remember the first time I got really hit, man. Like when I fought, dude, I fought heavyweight. I was overweight. I shouldn't even have been fighting heavyweight, but I was like, I had been training for a year, and I was like, I'm gonna fight. And the dude was big, dude. And he was 2-0 at the time. I told the promoter when I first started fighting, I want to only fight somebody that has a record as good as mine or better, because I don't ever. I come from a family hey, if you're gonna fight, you're gonna fight, man.
Right.
It's about respect, and I'm not here to fight like the average Joe. I'm here to fight someone either as good as me or better than me.
Right.
And this dude, man, he was better than me.
Just straight.
It was dope though, man, because I didn't know Shiloh at the time.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Shiloh coached and cornered the guy I fought, and I went out there and I was like, all right, man, he's a full grown adult. I was 19 years old. This dude's an adult. I think he was 27. I think he's an adult.
Right.
And I mean, he was 6'3", 265 pounds, and I'm 5'10", 265 pounds.
Good Lord.
So I'm I look like Earth, and he's just a big old tree.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm okay, this is going to be no reach. So I'm going to have to close distance. Man, they told us to fight, and the first thing I did was okay, I got to close distance. I threw a big right hand and just tried to close distance. We went to the ground. He got me in a crucifix. Bro.
And
rained
down.
Oh, dude,
punches.
no, straight punches. Not hammer fists, straight punches.
Oh.
He trapped my arm behind me. And 14 punches, bro. I remember counting them, and that was my first fight, first MMA fight, first real fight,
right.
In high school and stuff. I got jumped once or whatever,
really?
Some bullshit, but
wow.
Real fight, MMA, dude. I got beat, and it sucked, dude. I was at Memorial Hall, and there was probably 1,600 people. I mean, it was when Memorial Hall used to get packed out, when Cage of Honor was huge,
right?
And it was so hard because at my fight club, everybody had won their first MMA fight.
Oh, no.
And they're oh, don't be the guy to lose their first MMA fight. Man, I got beat.
14 punches lost.
Dude, but I took I wasn't mad about it, though.
Right.
I was I got beat. Mm-hmm. But it was for one, I got my one loss out of the way.
Yeah.
I'm an amateur. I ain't got to worry about that shit. A lot of people are that's their biggest fear is oh, man, I'm going to lose. Mm-hmm. And a loss can really change people, because until you really get hit or until you really take that first loss, you don't know how you're going to react, man. And some guys, you'll see them, they'll get beat and they just disappear. They're just oh, I'm over it.
Right. That's the easy way out,
I guess.
That's why I look at the one tournament that I've gone into with jiu-jitsu and I end up winning first place, whatever. And part of me is man, I wish I just would have lost. I wish I could have just got that out of the way. Felt because I was already very nervous and very charged up, and it's I wish I could have just tapped out, been done, and then forever I'm that wasn't too bad, But now it's well, I've only won my only tournament, so I got to keep that record.
Yeah, you got to keep it.
But it's really, that's a fallacy of way of thinking. But you got to deal with it,
dude. I was fully mind blown when I got my purple belt, because my blue belt, dude. I hate to be cocky, but I smoked it, dude. I was killing my blue. I killed my blue belt years. I mean, I was
which is roughly 2 average.
I was 2.5, 3, because when I came back from California, we were getting with Lopez and we really weren't under anybody, so we were kind of just training together. So I stayed at blue belt a little bit longer. But man, I wasn't losing tournaments, man. I was going to tournaments and I was winning 3 or 4 golds. I'd win no-gi, and I was and I was going competing advanced AGF. I remember we went down to Tulsa and I won 4 golds that day.
Wow.
And dude, I couldn't get beat. And I remember I got beat by James Partridge. He beat me in at the end of my blue belt career. He beat me, and then other than that, I don't think that was the only blue belt that beat me. And then I got my purple belt, and I was still man, you know what, dude? I've been submitting fools. I'm on a roll. Here we go. And then my purple belt, man, nothing but tough.
Yeah.
My first match, my first tournament, I got against Kenny Frendenberg. He was 265 pounds. I was 205, I think. But they didn't have nobody to go against, so I had to go up a weight class. And Kenny was a pro fighter at the time too.
Oh, wow.
So he tried to be all like that and stuff. And he was all tatted up, tried to be that scary looking guy. Dude, we had a killer roll, man. He could tell he was he threw a couple of illegal shots and stuff like that. But I ended up
Like punches?
well, no, like he like put his knee in my face, and like they were calling like, you know how you go like knee on chest or something like that. He was like knee on like my eye socket to my nose, and like J-Dub was like, "Hey, you can't do that," and like he just kept driving his knee into my face, and I was like, "Dude, like this dude's pissing me off."
Yeah.
Like, if I'm ever gonna get heated, this is the time,
Right.
you know. And funny thing is we end up going and we keep rolling. J-Dub reset us. I set my single leg where I locked down that single leg. Smoked him with a one-arm guillotine.
Nice.
Dude, I loved it because everybody around was cheering because they didn't like him. The dude he was just being a D-bag.
Right.
And I beat him though, but man, he like fucked my ribs up. Like I don't know if you ever pulled the muscles between your ribs, the cartilage.
Mm-mm.
It's horrible.
Doesn't seem very fun.
Charles was just out for like a week and a half with it. It's horrible.
Wow.
It don't feel good, but my ribs are all jacked up, and I beat him, and we were supposed to go best 2 out of 3. And I was like, man, I was pumped. I was like, man, I'm gonna end this motherfucker. Like, dude, like you fucking illegal shot me a couple of times. Right. Like, I'm done with this. And he's like, oh man, I can't go, man. I think you broke my ribs.
Really?
I'm like, this motherfucker.
He can dish it, but he can't take it.
Yeah, and I was so upset. But that made I felt so good after that because that was my purple belt day. I was like, oh yeah, dude, like. But then I met some real good purple belts.
True.
Oh, dude,
belts.
I went against Andrew Wiltz, which was at the time ranked number 2 in the world, I think, or number 3 in the world. I met him at Fuji State, and I was like, and I wasn't even planning on rolling that day. I roll up there with Lopez to coach some of the guys, and J-Dub's like, hey, we got an opening in the purple belt. If you want to enter, you can. And I'm like, oh well, I brought my gi. Of course, yeah.
Right.
And Lopez, I'm getting ready for pans. And I'm like, oh well, why not? Like, this is gonna be early. Let's get it.
Oh shit.
Bro, he hit me with a single leg. I put my guillotine in, played around for like 2 minutes. He ended up bowing an arrow and choked me. Real good guy.
Could you tell that he was ranked second in the world?
Oh yeah, dude.
You could feel the control,
his
and
technique alone.
IQ.
He was so tight, and like on his bow and arrow choke, he had it, and there was nothing I could do to stop him.
Wow.
And it was dope. I enjoyed it, man. And when we met, I was like, yeah, dude, I'm getting ready for pans. This is my, and he was a real cool guy. And he was like, yeah, man. He's like, you roll hard. He's like, get ready, man. He's like, because you're just going to roll against elite guys at Pans. And I remember at Pans camp, he never came down to Pans camp, but man, that dude is just fire. And he's still fire, dude. Andrew Wells, dude. He's a beast, dude. And I think he's just like a 2-stripe purple belt, maybe.
Jesus.
But I mean, or no, he's a brown belt now. He's done got his brown belt. Yeah. But dude, he's a monster, dude.
So like, how do people become that? How do they become something like that? Is it like skill and talent, or is it just like put your time in at the gym, or like what is it?
There's a lot of things, but like Wiltsy, those guys, him and his brother, they live in the gym. They literally live in a gym.
So yeah,
and you got to do that, dude. When I was training MMA, I picked up my stuff, moved to California. I lived in a gym. I lived in an MMA CrossFit gym. That's all I did. Because if you want to get to the top, you have to dedicate all your time.
Right.
Because nowadays, it's just like the NFL, man. If you want to make it in the NFL, you got to go to college, and then you got how many people? Like 500 people or 600? It's whatever.
Barely,
amount.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We'll just say 300. Let's just say that.
Yeah. 50 times 32.
UFC, though, what? They got 30 people on their roster, 40 people on their roster. So for you to make it where you want to make money and make a living at it, you have to invest all that time to make it into the UFC. You're not
doing other shit either.
Yeah, you can't.
You're not playing tennis.
Yeah, you're not playing tennis. You're not doing all that other fun shit.
No.
You have to dedicate all your time because there's 3,000 people trying to make that 40-man roster.
Right.
And
some of them might have better hookups than you. Some of them might have, their dads were an MMA type guy.
And that's the thing, dude, because you'll see guys that fight MMA and you're like, dude, I know a guy that's 155 pounds that would probably smoke half of these 155ers out here in the UFC. But they don't know the right people, or they're not getting the right fights, or they're not training, or and that's the thing. There's so many people out there.
Yeah, that's pretty typical. I mean, when you say that, it makes me think of the entertainment industry, what Kelsey and I do, because it is like I know designers that are off the charts, like amazing designers, but they're not getting paid what they should be getting paid because they don't know they don't know the right people, or the right people don't know them.
Yeah,
and then there's these fucking people that work at a marketing firm here around town, and it's like that's dog shit. Yet they're getting paid $80,000 a year.
Oh yeah, dude.
To do
and that's what sucks, dude. Because like people are like, it's all about who you know.
It really is,
and that's what
really
people don't understand about like people looking from the you know, the little picture to the big picture is like UFC. A lot of those clubs, they're all the same clubs. You know, Alpha Male, you know, a couple of San Diego gyms, a couple of Brazil gyms, a New York gym. Other than that, man, they don't go anywhere else. They keep it in a small group. And people are like, oh, man, well, they got this guy and this guy. And it's like,
you wonder why, right?
Yeah, they're all in the same club. Like, and that's smart, though, because those clubs put out the best fighters usually. But, I mean, that's what sucks from all these other fighters, because they're only going to make that B average money. They're not going to make that A celebrity money.
Right. But if they wanted to, they just have to play the game the right way, right?
Yeah.
It's becoming more and more of this in the MMA world. But like, you have to have a personality, and you kind of have to have a.
You have to have personality. You got to be able to self-market yourself.
Absolutely,
everything, dude. Like, I hate to say it, but all those guys out there, you got to be making videos. You got to be doing that.
You are the product, right?
Yeah. And
what's your training regimen? What's your diet? You know, what are you doing on Thanksgiving? Fucking put it on Instagram, because you are the product, and people want to know what you're doing. People want to know, or they want to know how you're doing it. All that sort of stuff. And people like McGregor, you know, he's definitely figured it out. He's not that guy. Right?
Dude, no.
He's not that guy.
Dude, he's not a smart guy. He is going to be...
But he plays it that way, though.
I hate to say this, though. He will be the guy that you see on the... You ever watch the... After you win the lottery, those people...
Oh, no.
That's going to be McGregor, though.
I hope not.
Dude, it is. Dude, I'm sorry. He's just not smart, man. I think he was a guy that just got money. You know, like I said, he got a big paycheck from that Mayweather. I mean, that was like
$100 million or something.
Yeah, dude. Like, he never has to think about working again.
No.
A guy that's never had money, and then the way his lifestyle or he is, I mean, it can't be good, man.
I could see that.
I mean, there's just a lot. Put it this way: it's just a lot of negativity. Like, and it's all about who you're around. So if you have a lot of negative stuff around you, bad things are going to happen.
Right.
And, you know, they might not say it out front. They might say he's living this lavish life or whatever. But, dude, I bet you he got some problems.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. But who doesn't?
Oh, yeah.
What I'm talking about more was the character that he created.
Oh, dude, he's
the trash talking. He's
a villain, bro.
He's a villain.
He has to be a villain.
You know that basketball, the Celtics? He is that fucker.
Yeah.
He is the little logo fuck. You know, he is the stereotypical, you know, high-pitched voice Irishman that's pissed off because he's always drinking and he just wants to fight because he loves fighting. That's fucking Conor McGregor. And he plays that role so well that people that don't like UFC or MMA particularly will pay $80 for a pay-per-view. Right?
Yeah.
So that's my point. Like, you can't just be a fighter anymore.
No,
you kind of have to have a
you gotta have to
nickname and all that kind of crap. You know,
you have to market yourself. I wish I would have known about all that bullshit, like Instagram and everything.
Yeah,
dude. Oh my god, I probably could be like some body fitness model or some bullshit.
You still could, baby.
I'm still good. I'm over it. I'm ready for the dad bod.
That's it. That's what you're gonna call your fitness DVD. Dad bod.
Dad bod 101.
Just go through. Now, pour the beer.
Oh god.
Now it's gonna get a little crazy. Get 2 beers. No, you could totally do that. No. Anything's possible, dude. We talked about, you know, the stupid movies, Centipede and all that shit that get made.
Dude, it's crazy.
The list goes on forever of things that get made that people pay outrageous money for.
Think about YouTube too.
Oh, dude.
Oh my god, people get paid for the stupidest videos.
Oh, dude, you can put the craziest stuff on YouTube and you get paid for it now.
I think the craziest shit is the little camera right here, and you sit there and you just talk, and people watch that 50 million times or something. And it's literally a webcam that has a resolution of, you know, like 720.
Yeah.
And you're just ranting on something, but 50 fucking million people watch it. Yep. There's no $50,000 red. There's no like lighting setups. There's no, you know, Harrison Ford or whoever.
You see the guy sitting.
None of it.
You ever see the guy sitting in a living room? They're like
probably.
Yeah, there's guys that will sit in their living room and do it, and then I'm like
a podcast.
Yeah, and I'm like, how do they get a million views?
Yeah, I know.
And they're sitting in their living room and they haven't vacuumed in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
I'm like, come on, bro. Like,
yeah, it's so crazy. It's so weird to me what takes off and what doesn't. I don't know if anyone can figure it out.
Dude, I don't know what it is, and you know, I don't know if it's something that maybe YouTube controls itself and was like, you know what, we want this to like push this forward and
could be, but we're the people watching it, you know, and we watch it. I've watched those stupid webcam videos where the guy's like, I'm going to talk about whatever happened in the news. And I'm like, okay. You know, like I'm mesmerized by it.
I'm interested in this.
Yeah. Okay.
Why do you have 1 million views? I'm going to listen to the 6 minutes.
And that might be part of it too, because I have definitely felt that before where I see, he has 10,000 views. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but
he's
you
got
see him-
2.5 million.
Right.
All right, what the hell? Why
Right.
have 2.5 million people watch this? You know?
That's how we are with like nature pictures and stuff too on
Yeah.
Instagram. If a bunch of people follow him, we're like, oh, okay, you know,
Yeah,
they
like-
must be doing something right.
Dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's crazy how people get like million likes. I'm like, how does that even happen?
Yeah, but it happens
Yeah.
a lot.
Do I need a hashtag
Right?
million likes?
It's-
Like, is that the secret?
I don't know. Like, there's a guy out of Pittsburgh. His name's Dr. Philip Harris. He's a biology professor. He's got 25,000 followers on Instagram.
Dang.
Just because he's good. He's a good photographer. He takes a lot of not nature, but like what'd you say?
Scenery.
Scenery, like scenery
Yeah.
type photos. And all it was Instagram featured one of his pictures, and it was like
Boom.
he went to bed. Yeah,
Yeah,
went to
just
bed with
overnight,
1,200 followers. Woke up with 25,000.
Dope.
Whoa, what the hell? So it happens.
Yeah.
Just to normal people, but then you have like the superstars like PewDiePie and stuff like that. Which
But so how do you
PewDiePie?
I have no idea what that
He's the number one subscribed on YouTube.
Yeah.
Probably makes 100
Tells you
million,
how much-
100 million
what
a
I
year.
don't understand is like, okay, so
Probably.
if you're a Instagram person, you got 25,000 followers. Do you get paid for having? 20,
I think you do.
like
You
how
get
does that
paid
all-
because I think the model is okay. What's your reach? If you take a picture of something, or they put advertisement
above your picture,
it's going to
when you're
hit
scrolling
probably
through.
20,000, 25,000. It has the
I
potential,
can
right?
see that. Yeah,
Okay.
Because you're
Right.
like, if you follow, 100,000 or 100,000 people follow you, if 20% of those people are going to see
At least,
it,
yeah, 20.
then like this is how much we'll pay you. Okay.
Right.
Damn.
I think you could actually Google it. I've actually Googled.
Yeah, I
there's
remember I
like there's
Googled
like
it one
tables
time. Yeah,
for it.
it'll
If
tell
you
you.
have 100,000, you get on average $50 per post or
Yeah.
whatever. It just keeps going down.
Yeah, because and then like YouTube, like what is it? Like every
They keep changing it. I don't know.
yeah, dude, it
It's-
changes all the time. But I want to say like, because my buddy, dude, his girl has like 100,000 followers, and she
Oh,
does
wow.
like, but she does some kind of like teaching program through her
See,
YouTube.
I think money comes from views and subscriptions.
Yeah.
Like if you have 100,000 people subscribing to you, you probably could make that your
Yeah,
your
she
career.
she don't work.
Yeah, you don't. You're
She does
just
that
you're
full-time.
producing. Yeah, and it's probably going to be pretty hectic schedule. Like you're not just all right. Time for another video. Like you're going to have to step it up.
That is her job. Yeah, you got
Yeah.
to be on it.
Right.
every
When
day.
you're working on that, and it's all day.
Dude, I can't wait.
which would be cool.
Yeah, dude, I'm trying to get like that though. I'm trying to be like something where I can just, cause dude, everybody's doing it, dude,
Yeah,
and why not?
it's
Like,
so possible.
dude, and in our generation, there's a lot of people that don't want to get outdoors or outside, so
Yeah.
they'll pay to see that kind
Well, a
of
lot
stuff.
of people can't.
Yeah.
Either.
Well, dude, we're going to a society like where people are more in, like they're all about being inside.
Yeah.
They're okay with being inside. Like it's not like they're like, oh, I'm gonna stay. It's like I want to be inside. I want to stay inside.
Actually, it's not even that anymore. It's not even a thought of I want.
Yeah,
it's just
it
like
just
I'm
happens.
inside.
Yeah.
That's just as
It's
far
just
as my
the-
mind
it's the
goes.
way it
Dude,
is
my
now.
brothers, they play like they work all the time, but when they're not working, they're playing video games,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just in the house, and it's like, and they're oh yeah, I got this screen, I'll watch this and do this, and I'm like,
Yeah, and especially like the population centers of the world. Let's just focus on the United States. You got Chicago, Austin, and Dallas, L.A., New York. Most of those people don't have a place to go.
oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
no, they're in their little ass apartment,
Yes.
and
So to me, I'd be down. Like if that's all we do, like I work at my pizza place, I serve pizza, and then I go home and I play my computer.
Yeah.
Like I get it. Like
Yeah.
okay, but I see what you're saying as far as they won't be able to get rid of the desire
Yeah.
of wanting to have an adventure, of wanting to go outside.
No, man.
That's why those YouTube channels of survivalist preppers and stuff, they're so prominent and so popular because everyone wants to do it, but only a very small percentage of people can,
yeah, and that's why I was telling you, like in the sauna, like dude, like if the way we're wanting to do ours, dude, like with being outdoors and like prepping, like learning how to do it, like
Right.
I'll tell you right now, I've never hunted.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been a hunter. So when I learn how to hunt, I'm going to learn it to my best abilities. And that's what I love about like, jiu-jitsu, like learning, like I've taken the time to learn jiu-jitsu and I've learned the art. I've been doing it for almost 10 years. And to apply that, my brain power and my knowledge to learning how to hunt, how to trap, how to do the outdoor living stuff. Because that's eventually where I'm going to take my next 10 years of my life is I want to be able to do a video blog, YouTube or whatever it is, and show people like, hey, the average person, if you want to change your life, you can do it and do it while you can, because there's not much outdoors left,
Yep.
Yeah.
you know? And I mean, land's not going to get any cheaper.
No.
And to get outdoors, like dude, I want to learn how to hunt. I want to fish. I want to see mountains. I want to see a cougar. I want to fucking take a picture of a bear. That's a cougar over there.
There's a cougar at the end of the table.
Yeah. But I just think it'd be interesting. And I think, man, if people will pay 1 million views to watch a cat lick some person's forehead or some stupid shit, bro, they'll pay to see me go on top of a mountain and piss on something or something. I don't know.
If you could, really, it's about value, right?
Yeah, dude.
It's always about value.
Dude, and that's the biggest thing. It's building value. If you can build value in anything, dude.
Why am I watching this? If there's no value, if it's to promote you and it's not helping me, I'm not going to watch it.
See, that's what I think the outdoor stuff will do so good, though. Like, imagine when we do get to the woods and we're just simple things like how to, like, we videotape us go out, you know, him hunt, bring it back, we, you know, cut it up, show you how to cook it, show you how to do every single step of all of those things. I feel like people would totally watch. Like,
yeah.
100%.
No, you'd have, if you two could remain vulnerable and just be like, we don't know how to do this.
That's
And
how
you
I feel,
and you
yeah.
stay that way
That's
and you're like,
exactly
I've
how
never
we
cut an elk up, but we're going to try to cut it
Yeah,
up,
we're
you know.
gonna-
But that's what's cool about, like
Wing
I
it.
said, building value is like building a storyline saying like, hey, like we're going to go learn how to trap. We're going to learn how to hunt. We're people that never done it. So when you're like, oh man, I could never do that. Well,
Like, let me show
That
you.
happens a lot.
Yeah.
You see like these mountain men and they're like, I'm going to make a video on how to trap. And I've trapped since I was 2 years old.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
like-
fuck, you're like the Aquaman of trapping.
See,
I
that's
can't
what
do
it
that.
is.
You know?
Like, that's
I'm
what
not going to
you're-
know what you know. Like,
Right.
I want to hear from somebody that's like, oh, you're from
I want to hear both for
yeah,
sure.
for sure. But I like to hear from the people that's like, oh, you've never done before, and now
Right.
you're out there and you're actually doing it. But if
Right.
I can see you like, oh, like if you look back, like he actually went and trained like how to kill an elk and skin it or whatever.
I can hear the ignorance in your
Yeah.
voice. Kill an elk. Is that what you do?
Yeah. Do I throw a spear? No, I'm not hunting with a spear.
What is coming out of its head?
No. But like, I just think it'd be interesting. And I think
It
people
would.
would actually pay to see that.
Yeah.
Other than some of the stupid shit that I see on TV nowadays. And I'm just like, it's a waste.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Dude, we watch like Netflix and stuff. And some of the stuff they put on there, I'm just like,
It's so stupid, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a waste of time when you could take all of that time that you're spending watching TV, you can be learning things.
Right.
Imagine if everyone took all the time they waste and actually put it against learning something.
Oh, I mean, that's,
be
yes.
unbelievable.
Well,
You
yeah.
learn anything.
just imagine if you had a video on just how like having bees benefit
Oh my gosh,
you.
Yeah.
I bet you get views on that, dude. If you just
Oh,
had
no
a video
doubt.
like just like, oh, like here I'm checking on my bees today because I'm making honey, blah blah
Yeah.
blah, and like
Right.
I'm gonna take some of this honey and
gonna
make
show
some
you how to
honeys
do
on
it,
my
yeah.
pancakes.
Yeah, right.
Somebody will pay to watch that.
Yeah.
Somebody will be like, oh, dude, look at this video. Like,
Well, it's not even about paying. As long as you have the value,
Yeah.
even if it's entertainment, that's value, right?
Yeah.
I'm stuck in my cubicle. Oh, what's this guy doing with bees? Like I forget that I'm in a fucking cubicle. Or if you're offering up like a skill, but also character. Like people want to know who you are as a person, and they go, I like this couple. They're out there. They're kind of crazy. They got this little daughter. They have no fucking clue what they're doing,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
but
they're
they're
giving
doing
it their
it,
best
yeah.
shot. Like so they start to cheer for you, and then that is the golden ticket to like,
Yo.
oh, we have 150,000 subscribers.
when you build a storyline where there's
It's- yeah.
when there's really no have to like build it, it's just there.
right,
It flows, dude. And it's
yes,
Well, like just the other day, my friend Michael on Facebook was literally like, you're one of this couple, us and our daughter are one of the internet families he likes watching.
yeah,
Just
right.
like watching us grow, like going through being pregnant and then,
Okay.
going through having a baby and him doing his
That's
tournaments.
one guy. Now
That's
take
one
that
person.
percentage and put it across America,
Yeah.
and then envelop the world. Like let's pretend 0.001% of Earth's population watched you guys. You're making
oh yeah,
hundreds of thousands off the internet by
Exactly.
doing whatever you're going to
Yeah.
do. So it's like it's there. You just have to create it.
you just gotta
and
build the value.
And that's us. We're going to follow our dream and get out in the woods 100%. And if we can have people watching us do it and, make a little bit of money off of it for the simple things we need,
Oh, that'd be
friggin' awesome.
that's
Yeah.
actually exactly what Casey and I, my brother, were talking about yesterday. We were at the building that we bought, and we're like, man, honestly, if we could just have enough money to take care of living and buy some toys,
Yeah.
there's not much else that we like. Okay, an island would be fucking cool, but I'm not gonna
I
like.
don't need that. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, like
I
I'm
need
not
a
gonna.
wood splitter.
I'm not suffering.
To make
Yeah, right.
like
Yeah,
life easier.
dude,
Like that's it. That's
I'm
all
literally
the
thinking
shit
like
we
a really
need.
nice like chainsaw.
Yeah, like
or
chainsaw,
something
a good
cool.
four-wheeler.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
like
Like I'd like to have a nice car, but I don't need a fucking Bentley,
No,
right? Like something
man.
like. I mean,
but see, I've never been a person to like want
We
like
want
new
cars,
things.
yeah.
Like
right.
I've just been like, man, if I don't know. I've just
We're
never been about
minimalists.
objects.
We're
Yeah, man. I've
Right.
always been a minimal person, and like, if I could have a new car, I'd probably like, get like an old truck, like an old Tacoma truck, and like call it good.
Right.
that we can
right.
haul the dogs and you
Yeah.
know loads around. Like,
But like if you could get a nice money's not a problem. Like go get a nice Tacoma, brand new 2018 Tacoma. It's loaded up. It's not doesn't have machine guns and
All-wheel drive.
lasers.
I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't do it though.
Really?
bro. I probably wouldn't, man. I'm gonna be
That's
honest with you,
interesting.
man. I'd probably stick with the old truck
That's cool.
that doesn't have a lot of options. Because like I said, man, like I told her I'm getting rid of my cell phone, man, because I don't use a lot of the stuff on it, man. It's like so much stuff that I just don't need.
Right.
And I feel like us as people, like it's been pushed on us to have so much things.
Oh, it is.
And
Yeah.
it's like I don't want that. Like
Right.
I don't want to have to worry about like I have to check my phone. I don't want to have to check my phone. But having my phone all the time makes me do that because it's just
it's like
human
a
nature.
compulsion. Yeah.
Well, that's how they designed it.
Oh yeah, well
You know?
there'll be time where you don't have your phone and you'll feel your phone vibrate in your pocket and
Phantom,
you ain't got
yeah.
no
That's
fucking phone
like a
on you.
thing. It's like
It's
a
a-
scientific.
Yeah.
It's a
proven
real
thing.
thing, and I'm like, dude, it's because this was never meant to be by our side.
Nope.
Yeah.
I hate to say that. Like that's a luxury.
Well, you don't have to. You don't
Yeah.
have to hate to say it.
Yeah, it's a luxury that we've taken advantage of.
Yeah, for sure. It's the first step in becoming cyborgs.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Like people, no, really,
No,
people
yeah.
think,
No, I
oh,
think that-
cyborg is when it's in your skin and on your face. It's like,
Oh.
we just carry them right now.
Yeah,
you
we
know?
carry 'em right now. Just imagine when this thing can hologram out and make something that you can actually touch.
Oh God,
Bruh.
yeah, dude.
See, I don't want to be here for that. I want to be in the woods, away from all that, and just.
No,
not
you
have
want to
to
be
worry
here
about
for that. It's
I
gonna
do
be
not
fucking
wanna be-
awesome.
No,
No.
I'm out. I'm gonna be.
I will call
Laid
you
on.
guys on my fucking telepathic phone. I will transport myself out to the woods and be like, listen, you
Listen.
guys are missing out. It's fucking awesome. There's digital dinosaurs everywhere, and drones deliver our pizza. And you're like, that's it. I'm out of the woods. I'm coming back.
Coming
Here's
back
my
just for the
question
pizza.
though on AI and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think the United States will ever get anywhere, dude, because we're so far in debt that I don't even think AI is like part of our plan in life.
Where does all this money?
Well,
come from?
I just don't think we're going to be the ones to do it, though. I think if anybody does it, it'll be like China or Japan or
They
some
might.
shit like that.
They might.
I
It's
just
a
don't-
race. It's
Dude,
definitely
we're
a race.
we're in debt, dude. I feel like anybody wants to pay off our debt real quick can own us real quick, and
They could, but here's the thing: is
Ooh, that's scary.
here's the
I didn't know
yeah.
that. I
Here-
didn't know that.
the thing for me with the debt is that the debt is a government. It's a national thing. The people that are pursuing AI, they're private companies, meaning like they could go to China. They could exist in China if they wanted to. They really don't they don't pay taxes here, you know?
Yeah.
Nobody does. But they're not really connected to debt. That is a problem. Definitely a problem. But I just don't think it would it's not affecting technology.
I hope it doesn't. But I just
And it's fake. Debt's fake. That's the other
I mean,
problem.
yeah,
there
you
is
gotta
no
think about
debt.
it.
It's weird. It's
Right.
just like,
It's
well, who do we
true.
owe that
Hey,
to?
do we
Yeah.
still talk about Fort Knox? Is that a real thing?
Oh, the whole gold
is it
place.
Have they ever like taken any updated pictures of it?
I don't know.
Has anybody been there in the last 25 years?
I don't even know where it's at. Fort Knox. What is Fort Knox?
Fort Knox is where we kept our gold reserves.
In Kentucky. This one?
Yeah.
North of Elizabethtown, which is used to house a large portion of the gold reserves. There it is, dude. It's bullshit. Dude, I don't understand gold.
I don't either.
What?
don't
I mean,
know
like,
all that.
it's...
Aliens, bro.
That's the only thing.
It's the only thing. If you go back
Electronics
to,
is
dude,
the only
aliens,
thing.
bro.
Huh. I don't know. Yeah, it's still there. It looks... Wikipedia says it's still there.
What's
No,
like,
but-
are diamonds, you know what I mean, even valuable anymore? Like things
Diamonds?
Like that? Yeah.
I mean,
diamonds are so valuable,
yeah, I think
yeah.
they are because
Really? See, I
don't they
thought
use
it-
them in lasers and shit?
They use them for like I think,
lightsabers.
dental and shit too.
No.
I think they do.
No.
Dental stuff.
They put diamonds in teeth?
No, I mean like the lasers for the diamonds.
Oh,
They use it in dental
okay,
too.
yeah, probably so. Yeah.
I
I
just
just-
know.
Oh,
Oh,
diamond
okay.
tip, like a diamond
Yeah,
tip.
yeah.
like
Yeah, I've heard
See, I
that.
wonder
I've
if
heard that at
that's
a dentist.
still-
you mean Paul Wall? Shiny
Jesus.
grill. You got
Oh,
diamonds,
Jesus
Oh
dude.
yeah.
Christ.
true.
Well, that's definitely got to be the number one use for them, right? Just
Yeah.
shiny
Well, I read a
jewelry.
thing that was like they can make diamonds now or some shit.
Yeah, I
like that,
remember
you know
them
what I mean?
talking about
Yeah.
that. I think they do.
That's like
I think it's a thing. I think it's a done
Is
deal.
gold still like valuable like that or no?
I don't know. I just know that there was a rumor that there was no gold in the Fort Knox.
Oh,
It was all
of
just
course.
a lie.
It
Yeah.
makes sense. That'd
I mean,
be
it could
something.
be.
I mean, that's like, I feel like that's like Grandpappy, like, there's no gold in there. And the little boy around the fire is like, what?
Dude,
But gold has property values as far as like technology, like all our phones, our
Yeah.
computers. That's this microphone. They have gold in them for them to work. So to me, that's where the value comes from. But if I were to have a gold bar and give it to you, like, I guess I'd put it in the garden. Like, I don't know what the fuck to do
Yeah.
with it. Like,
Oh, put this
what
on
could
the
you
ceiling.
do? Yeah,
Like,
what would you do with it? It's totally useless. It's soft.
know. Yeah.
If you squeeze it, it bends. But
I don't know.
it just doesn't make sense
I
to
don't
me.
need gold.
No, I don't. I mean, no.
You give me a Bitcoin though.
Okay, here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. And see, that will kind of touch on your debt topic as far as what does crypto do to national debt? Because our debt is in U.S. dollars, I guess, right?
Yeah.
U.S. dollars. And so that's going to get really weird, especially if Bitcoin turns out to be the world currency.
Do you think it will be though?
I don't know. Sometimes
I
I
know
do,
you-
and sometimes I don't.
Man, I think with all the stuff out there, I think there's gonna be like maybe one or two that they go with, and then. But I mean,
No, I think there's going to be probably hundreds.
really,
Think about how many languages there
yeah.
are. I think crypto is going to be the same way. It's just like you don't use your Bitcoin to pay for a backdoor blowjob.
Yeah.
There's a different coin for that
There's a
because you don't want
The-
people to know
no.
that you paid this way. But if you're going to go to your realtor and say, "Hey, I want to buy this house," maybe Bitcoin is the right thing. I don't know.
It'll be interesting. I think though, like it's coming, and it's good if
Here.
you own any kind of digital currency. I think it's smart.
Even titty coin.
Even titty coin. Even titty coin, because you never know, dude.
I mean,
Some stupid shit. Look at
listen, Dogecoin
Doge.
still blows my mind.
bro. I own Dogecoin just because
Me too.
stupid shit happens. And you know what? I'm cool because stupid shit happen makes people millionaires.
Dude, if you were to get into Dogecoin around 2009 or 2010 when it showed up,
Yeah, you'd be.
just say you dumped like $100 in the end of 2017 when crypto was at its peak, for $100 you could have made $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 for a stupid Dogecoin that has no purpose. It's
yeah,
a total.
no purpose.
It's a total
Dude.
That's insane.
experiment.
But
I
watch
guess.
though, watch like Amazon or Starbucks or some stupid shit.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll pick up Dogecoin,
Oh God.
and then
well, Dogecoin is Bitcoin.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and it's like, I hope that does happen because like us, we'll get paid. I'm
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I'm totally cool.
I
With
got
stuff
15 cents of Dogecoin. Means I have about 15 million of them.
Like that. Yeah.
No, I mean, those companies that you just mentioned, Amazon, Starbucks, the fucking gigantic world-renowned companies that are big, their GDPs are bigger than countries all over the world put together, especially Amazon, they want a crypto thing because
dude, it's the
think
way-
about, I mean, you're getting rid of your phone, but I can order something right now on Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Anything I want. I can just put my thumbprint, blah, 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 get it, go. And it's going to be here in a day or two.
Yep.
They want crypto.
Oh yeah, dude, and that's the way when they do crypto, they're not gonna have to worry about banking problems.
Nope.
None of that issue. Direct, right there.
Yeah.
Here you go, and it's gonna be that service where Amazon's gonna be so good in the future, where it's gonna be like you buy something and you'll have it like, oh, you'll get that in an hour.
Right.
Like your drone will drop it off at your front door. Here you go. Your payment was accepted.
Here's the GPS of the drone.
Yeah,
you
like-
can be you need to run to the grocery store. You have enough time to go and come back, and your drone will be here.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing, man. And then when that starts happening, man,
It will.
people will start going out of business, bro.
Well, new businesses will take their spot too. You know,
True.
there's a new playing field as far as businesses. We maybe
Well-
not have storefronts, but we're gonna have drones or whatever. But
And
you
then
got to
you'll
think
have like packaging,
3D.
loading for the drones. All that would make jobs and stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, you could just get one of those Tesla machines and it's like moving shit
Oh, yeah.
around. I
They
mean,
just
that's-
need to come out with robots and give them out to everybody, and they'll just do people's jobs.
It's gonna happen.
like say,
will.
oh, here you go. Here's your robot, and that's when all
It will.
incomes will be.
Oh, the universal
The
basic
u-
income.
Why not though? That's perfect. That makes sense. Like bring out the robots when you do that.
It will.
Everybody makes the same amount of money. The only thing I don't like though is that's going to give a lot of people time to reproduce.
Yeah, you'd have to figure out something there.
And I honestly think there should be some kind of like thing there because, dude, we're overcrowded as it is.
I agree, but it's hard to say that. It's hard to be
It's
like,
hard to say that, but look at the
like who's going to be
resources-
in charge of that shit?
But look at the
Yeah.
resources we got now. We're
I
not
know.
going to have
I'm
meat.
totally
Hey,
with you.
We're not going to have meat here in 20 years.
Well, we're going to grow it in a lab.
Yeah, we're going to grow in a lab. It's
which
not.
sounds great.
It sounds horrible, dude. And the thing is like we're not going to have meat in 20 years, and then we're going to have to start going out and getting fish, which we can.
Well, we already do that.
Yeah, but we can.
It's not good.
I mean, the waters. Look what we're doing to the waters now.
Not good.
I can only imagine what that fish is going to be like in 20 years. Like
It's not going to be there.
Yeah.
If we continue the way we're going.
we're all going to have to go vegan, bro, and then we're going to eat all the greens, and then we'll have no oxygen. And then we'll have to go back to Al Gore and blame about global warming or some
we'll
bullshit.
be dead. I mean, hopefully the good and the bad happen at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, like the overfishing, huge problem. But I've read some National Geographic articles where they're using GPS and trackers on the tuna, and every boat that goes out has to be location driven, and you have to upload. What's going to happen is that the globe will have internet everywhere.
Yeah.
There's not going to be any
And everything
dark
will be
spots.
regulated.
Yeah.
Well,
everything.
probably that's a little bit weird. I don't know if I want everything regulated.
Will there
I
be
mean,
a
like,
dark?
It probably will,
Will there
though.
still be a
There
dark?
has to be. It has
Yeah.
to be like it's like having like deer hunting season.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
it's gonna
that's
have to be like I know they have seasons, but it's just there's so much overfishing doing right now, and there's
Oh,
so
specifically
much-
overfishing.
Yeah, and like
Ocean.
Oh, it's horrible.
And that comes into play with different countries.
Yeah, 'cause
Japan and China, they do the
open
fuck they
waters,
want.
yeah, international
United
waters.
States,
man,
we do
you
what
can
we
do
want.
so many different
Yeah.
things. It's so stupid, and
And
there's
hopefully we'll figure that out.
It's crazy, man.
Because you can get away with whatever, you know.
Hey, what's going on in Antarctica,
I don't
What?
know.
dude? What's going down there?
Dinosaurs are waking up. What
Dinosaurs?
is going on?
I don't know, man. Like
What?
you're talking about blackout
Are you
spots,
serious?
dude.
You've never watched
Antarctica.
anything about Antarctica yet?
Well, what's Antarctica?
I mean, it's. Are you serious?
It's under the flat Earth.
Yeah.
Oh no! I can't believe that. That's just no.
No, but Antarctica is thawing right now, and they're finding, microbes.
They found a
and-
lake. I
Yeah, they
think.
found like these random lakes that have bacteria in them that they've never seen, and
Oh,
stuff.
really?
It's
Like new
crazy because-
species?
Yeah, because everything's thawing out. They can actually find it now.
Right.
It's wild.
Oh, that I guess that is a positive of global warming is we'll get to see what's under all that
Right,
ice.
I'm waiting for like an alien body.
But,
Oh.
Like, oh my
but
God,
with that
we found
happening,
this.
though,
Like,
it's new bacteria means new viruses
Yep.
No.
to a point.
Well, I know what you're saying, but no.
No,
I know what you're saying. Wait, hang on. Wait. Bacteria are different from viruses.
Yes.
Okay.
yes,
So what you're saying is,
But with
if we
new-
find one new species, there's a lot more.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said that wrong.
The terminology is in
Yeah.
the wrong order.
Yeah.
I'm a biology major, and it was like,
Yes.
but no, I see what you're saying though. So but your point is that it could be dangerous.
Yeah, I mean,
So we could awaken something that we haven't
Think
seen
about,
for.
ice freezes, they say like the frozen bodies that they find.
Mm-hmm.
People who've, been frozen to death. They find bacteria still in their stomachs, because they were
Right.
frozen. They were just frozen to death.
Right.
Imagine if they do go up there and they find, cavemen.
Yeah.
They were carrying
Yeah.
around,
something
different
that
somethings.
our immune system's not ready for.
Exactly, yeah.
Definitely a possibility.
Wouldn't that be nuts? That'd be
Definitely a
wild.
possibility.
what if they find like a huge bong?
Like Stonehenge.
Like,
Stoner hen.
they actually just. Oh, remember that movie? Was it How High? They
yeah.
what was it, Abraham Lincoln had a bong or whatever.
that is too funny.
That would just be funny because American history would just be like, what?
the whole global history would be
Yeah.
like, what is going on? See, that's what would happen with aliens, right?
Yeah.
We
Oh,
found
yeah.
if we found some sort of alien, it would just
Like
throw a whole
imagine that.
wrench.
Yeah, right now the news pops on. Boof.
Dude,
pops
they
on.
wouldn't.
The
They didn't-
world would lose.
I don't
their
think.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think the
They
world would
lose
actually
it.
care if they were aliens. They would just be,
Really?
I think they'd be better that it was out.
Really?
'Cause I think
No,
I think most of
would
people.
all the Christians lose their shit.
Well, no, I think most
100%.
people believe there's aliens. They just don't want to admit because they. I don't know.
I think they would lose
I
their
don't
I do too.
minds.
I don't
I think
know.
it'd be like anarchy.
I think it would be a
Yeah.
tough. Even my just thinking like, how would I react? I would, I'd be like, what is going on? This is everything I thought I knew is kind of okay. What don't I know? What's going? I
Yeah,
would.
like what really happened? Like
I'm
My
just
mind
saying,
would
if
be
you think
spinning.
we're the
Oh, yeah.
only people out here, I
you're
mean,
crazy.
Well, yeah, but we don't. Since that question can't be answered, it doesn't really bother me. But if we dig up some ice and there's a full blown alien, I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, okay, hang on. What that? I guess that's what I'm talking. Yeah.
So you want the physical proof before you believe in it?
So
No. I think
yeah.
I think I'm totally down. The universe is way too big that we're the only
Okay.
intelligent life.
But it's just the way
out there.
it's just the way we're brought up, though.
It doesn't.
It doesn't make sense because the
With
way we're
our
brought up.
stories.
Yeah. Now, if we were brought up a different way, and it
Mhm.
wasn't like the Christian story and all that, and we were brought up like, oh, aliens did touch down like millions of years ago,
Yeah.
then we'd
You
be
would
like,
be in a cult.
oh yeah, aliens. Yeah.
But no, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You change it wouldn't be as radical to us
Yeah.
because people we trusted told us when we were in a very vulnerable stage of childhood.
That
That makes sense. It's just an alien would be crazy.
I don't know, man. To see all the history and like with Indians and like tribal stuff, like man, just
Maybe it would make things make sense. Maybe he'd
Yeah.
have like maybe the alien would have like the blueprints to
Right?
the
Like,
Egypt
this is
pyramids.
What
Yeah.
happened.
It's like,
This is
oh
what really
shit,
happened, like-
that crazy guy on Ancient Aliens was right.
Yeah.
They did build them. You
some
know,
of those guys are just far fetched, dude. Like
They're-
I like some of the stories. Like some of the stories, you're like, okay, I can see some science and some history towards that.
Right.
And then some of the stuff, I'm just like, whoa, man, you kind of just jumped. Like,
Like when they get into like the lizard people, and you're like,
Oh,
okay,
that's right. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I love how they word the question though. They're like, the pyramids of Giza were built by some such pharaoh, but could it have been aliens?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I guess it could have been, but they word it like that, so it's like, yes, it was aliens.
they like
Well,
run you into it.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do. They
I
do.
watched one. They had a special show, and they had the guy. I forgot his name. Some guy from Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a special guest, and he was showing like all the pyramids and stuff, and he was like, well. I don't think it's aliens or this. He would say what it is, and that
Right.
guy would step in and you'd be like, well,
Oh no!
if aliens did that. And I'm like, and even the guy was like, it's not aliens.
Right? Yeah, under his breath. I mean, as humans, we want things to connect
Yeah.
and work out. Like if you watch a movie and certain plot points are not answered, you're upset.
Yeah.
I'm upset. I'm like, what the fuck? They didn't. And we want that for real life, except for yeah, exactly, yeah. But in real life, that hardly ever happens.
No, yeah.
It hardly ever happens. We will tell ourselves, there's a purpose to everything. Everything happens for a reason. Honestly, I think a little bit of that is just to make myself feel better because it's too chaotic and I cannot explain why this event happened or whatever. But it's just easier for me to go, everything happens for a reason. And I'm more productive that way if I believe that. But in real life, usually that doesn't happen.
No.
So the whole alien thing is like, it works out a little bit too perfectly. Like this is like a Hollywood script when the aliens come down and build pyramids of Giza. Like that's all they built. They just built the pyramids. They weren't like talking the internet back then.
Yeah,
Like you guys need to build a system that connects everybody together.
Everybody.
No, they're just like, let's build some stone piles.
We're
It'd
going
be
to give you this pyramid right here. And yeah. just
But
pyramid.
maybe
Put dead people in it.
But the pyramids,
what are we gonna put in it? The dead guys.
the pyramids, though, if you look at them, are actually very intricately built.
Oh, I no
Oh,
doubt.
yeah,
I'm
no
just
doubt,
busting
yeah. No.
pyramid balls.
I'm
but
just saying, imagine like the
true.
smarts. If like a pharaoh, whoever orchestrated the whole thing was like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. How the did he get that idea?
Yeah.
How is he just sitting around, in sand and was just like, I'm gonna do this?
But kind of like what you said earlier, what if everyone took the time that they wasted and invested
True,
it into one
yeah.
thing? They didn't have a lot of time to.
Exactly.
Well, and I
Waste.
heard
I don't
back
think
then
they did.
too, because like if you go like back in like biblical stuff, they talked about how there was a canopy of water over earth, and like that's where like when the flood happened, that was the water gushing through and whatever. But with that water, oh man, I just went mind blank, dude. Probably from that water we were drinking earlier.
I don't know where you're going with
I
that.
don't know
but
where I was going either.
I have never heard that theory, but yeah, and like people have such a short memory. Oh, in the last 100 years, it's gotten a lot hotter, and I'm not saying it hasn't, because obviously it has, but it's like it was pretty fucking hot when the dinosaurs were around. So if you go far enough back, it's like Earth used to be way fucking hotter, and life was still here and everything.
Oh, and that's what. Okay, now I just brought it back. I had to like.
is that what did it,
dude?
Go
Well,
around back
like
to
my
it.
biblical like background, I have to go back in
Yeah.
the brain. Like,
Yeah.
but like what I was saying with the water, man, they had a canopy over. They used to say that Earth used to be like a certain temperature, and like everybody was like, and we got on a topic one time at church how like they were trying to figure out if Jesus was like white or whatever. Yeah, it was a really weird topic, but they were talking about how the canopy of the water though, most people were probably tan because of the water was almost like being over the sun was like a shade, but they said that days were almost longer, and like people like the oxygen level was a lot higher than what it is now.
I've heard that theory before.
And with the oxygen level being higher, you could live longer, your
Right.
body
Bigger,
can
that's why
perform
there was
better.
giants, yeah.
And there was, the reason for giants. And I could see how giants played an effect probably with the pyramids, but where's the evidence? Because everything else is painted
everywhere.
on walls. Everything's painted on walls.
Oh, there's
but where-
skeletons everywhere too. You know?
Oh, yeah.
So like, why is there not? You'd think a giant skeleton would be even stronger. It could last more stress of.
Well, just
sand
imagine.
and sun
I could.
and stuff.
I don't even know what our oxygen level is right now.
I don't either.
But I can only
Probably not
imagine if you're on our Earth that wasn't intoxicated with
pollution.
and just all the just waste that we have now. Because just imagine a sunny day that you're not getting sunburned. Because
because the
layers and all
ozone's so
fucked up.
strong.
yeah, the ozone's perfect. I mean, there's no reason for it to be depleting because we're not putting waste into the air.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely on us.
And that's something we can't imagine because we've never been there. So.
Right. But like even back in the dinosaur days or whatever, those fucking volcanoes, they were putting off tons of CO2.
Oh, yeah.
Tons,
Which is-
and tons of poisonous gas in the air, all kinds of stuff, dude. Other stuff, and I mean, that all plays an effect. But how many actual volcanoes were actually active at the same time too? We don't.
Right.
I mean, there could have been one every 30,000 or 20,000,
Right.
however
Which
long.
is hilarious. Like no time at all.
But
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not abdicating our responsibility as humans as far as like, ooh, we need to cut down on the carbon emissions, guys. Like
Yeah,
it's
I know.
about to get crazy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, man, Earth's been through a lot, and it probably could go through a lot more. But I'm not saying like,
but
go
how do
burn the coal.
But you know what
Yeah,
though?
no,
Slow down.
Where do we compare? What do we compare that to?
That's a great question.
Because like we look at Mars and we're like, was that maybe a distant planet that
Yeah.
we ruined and now we're here and are we
Right.
ruining this one?
Right.
But you know, like you said, how do we compare that? What we're doing is not making an effect, and it is because I hate to say this, but just like anything, if I put tobacco down your throat, if I put alcohol down your throat, and I put rat poison down your throat, something's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
If I'm doing that to Earth,
Whoa.
just imagine what's happening to Earth, man. I can only
Yeah.
imagine. And
Yeah.
I mean, we're only digging on it. We're making the Earth hotter. You know.
But like you said, how do you compare that, or what do you compare that to? And then it's like, what's our standard? Because archaea and bacteria, they don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
They can live on underwater volcanoes at some, I don't know how many fucking thousands of PSI, and they're like, this is cool. We'll be here for 10 million years, no problem.
Totally true.
But intelligent life like us, we're super, very, very particular. Like, why do we like 60 to 70 degree weather? That's where we evolved from. The savannas were about 60 to 70 degrees. Like, that's why we set our temperature to that way, like, or our tribal number. Why is that 150? And that's about all we could handle when we were out there in the tribes or whatever. And once again, that question goes back like, well, where do we draw on the genetic markers? Because we didn't just start in the savannas, if you believe in evolution. We went all the way back to muck piles in the ocean. So are we behaving like the muck piles in the ocean in some way? Or the savannas? Or tree monkeys? Or whatever,
Like at what time?
Yeah, when
did we like cut that? Yeah.
Or when did the behavior that you are exhibiting right now, when did that kind of start to show up in your evolutionary line?
That's
because
crazy.
they always-
I never thought about thinking about it that far.
No, they always because everybody likes to talk about the savannas. When we were tribes in the savannah or whatever, when we were Homo sapiens, we were running around throwing spears at elephants. And it's like, yeah, that was pretty recent, but like we just keep going back.
Yeah.
So
That wasn't me though. I'm a negative blood type, so I'm an alien.
you're negative. Wait, what does that mean?
You want me to say it? There's an RH factor in everyone's blood. You either have negative or positive.
Right.
And they say that like the negative geno, like the RH factor in negative blood cannot be traced back to anything.
We're not like humans is like has like similarities to animal DNA or whatever. Negative blood type isn't. It's I can't remember what it was. I'm AB negative.
He's got the rarest in the world.
So no one come after me,
AB
please.
soul.
It's cool though because then I have the second rarest, and then our daughter has the third.
0.6.
Yeah.
0.6 of the population has AB negative.
Yeah. And it's crazy because him and my mom have the same blood type too.
I think I'm an O, and I just don't know which O I am.
You're probably positive if you don't know.
Yeah, if
I'm
you don't,
very positive. Oh, this is weird. So you're telling me that the negative, what would you call it?
It's the RH factor in the blood type.
But like, what would okay, so you're saying that the people that have a negative blood type cannot be traced to something.
okay, just type in negative blood type ancestry or something.
Rhesus. An exotic bloodline or random. Okay, maybe this is
I'm
ancient
exotic.
origins. I
Yeah,
clicked on
right.
ancient origins. Fuck. This is totally going to back up your theory of being a goddamn
I
alien.
told you, dude.
I should have clicked on CNN. See, look, a giant history. They're talking about giants. You led me here. You did it.
The Matrix led you here.
This is interesting. I've never heard of like that sort of lineage not being interbred with extraterrestrials.
Yeah.
Oh my god! No
Isn't
wonder
that
you're
cool?
a purple belt.
Don't tell people my secret.
That's crazy. There are some like talking about earlier. If we found an alien, it would just question everything that we know. But there's just so much that we don't know.
Or
that-
what if they're already here and everybody has?
I
Just,
totally believe it.
You know what I mean? Like,
totally
what
believe
if
it.
I
his
just believe-
ancestors? What if our RH factor really was, aliens from a different planet? But
Yeah.
they were just human. You know what I mean? Like,
Right, like an offshoot of humans.
Yeah.
Well, I like to think about it like I just watched that Ted Bundy documentary. You seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Really good. They talk about like back in the day, police units didn't really talk to each other past
Mm-hmm.
state lines. So they'd call and say, "Hey, how many missing girls do you have?" We have one. Well, how many altogether? We just have one. And it's like, no. On the news, there's like 15 missing. Well, there just was no communication.
Yeah.
That sort of thinking can be applied today. Like, how many people do you come into contact with every day that you don't know where they've been the last 14 years,
Yeah.
but they're in front of you, and maybe they're real, maybe they're not. I mean, that's philosophical type
No, but
thinking
it's-
of like
it's yeah,
questioning
yeah.
that sort of reality, which
Yeah.
gets a little sticky. But yeah, I guess my point was, point is that there's like, I don't know, almost 8 billion people. How do we know that they're not some really awesome, perfectly shape-shifting aliens that just are here to?
Exactly.
They're not being malicious. They're just hanging out.
Just chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
wanna
We need
coincide.
somewhere to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to live out my life as
Yeah.
a human, but I can read your mind and I can do all these things and whatever. I'm just kind of here. Like, I'm going to live for 12,000 years, so
Stephen
I'm not going to
Hawking.
fuck anything up.
Just don't
Yeah.
probe me. Please don't probe me.
He's reading your mind. He's like, this guy wants to get probed. No. Yeah, dude.
But yeah, now you know I'm an alien. So
That's interesting. I'm going to have to do some research on
dude,
that.
it's
Dude,
some
it's
cool
pretty
research
cool,
because
yeah.
I didn't know because like when she was getting pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
in order for her to pretty much get pregnant, we both had to be a negative blood type because
It wouldn't have worked?
Well,
Oh,
Well, there's a thing.
right.
like-
If the
like
baby's
my
blood is
mom-
not.
Yeah, like my mom is negative blood type, but my dad at the time wasn't, and so my mom had to get it's like Rebuildng. I can't ever
Mm-hmm.
say the name of the shot. But you have to get a shot that actually changes your
Mm-hmm.
blood type while you're pregnant. Well, because he's negative and I'm negative, I didn't have to have that, which is tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually women who, if you don't have it, your body can kill your baby.
Right.
And
right.
it's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's a whole ordeal. Like it's wild. And yeah, when we got pregnant, we tested his blood like 3 times
Just
to make sure.
right.
Yeah. Because it was like I wanted to know.
So it changes your blood type, the
Well,
shot?
it like
or
changes the RH factor in the blood so it doesn't. Cause,
it's not reactive.
yeah,
to-
well, it would attack the
Right.
foreign body is
Right.
what it sees it as. It sees it as a foreign body because it's not a
Right.
matching blood type.
Right.
Which is crazy. And I never really, my whole life I grew up, my mom was like, oh yeah, we're negative blood type, and then when we started talking about babies, I really looked into it and was like, wow,
This is actually important.
intense.
Right.
Yeah, like this is totally different. And there's so many people in the world that don't know they're negative,
Right.
and if you get a blood transfusion from anything opposite, like you're done. Like that's it.
Right.
Your body, you're done.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy.
It was just crazy to think that I was negative though. I was like,
yeah.
The rarest blood type
yeah,
there is.
Yeah.
That's like the moment like, you're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
like-
thinking to myself, I was like, man, wonder how much I can sell this for. Like, I'm gonna hit up eBay
Can
real
they?
quick.
No.
Oh.
I looked.
That's interesting. That's
I
great.
checked.
Was it illegal?
No, I just don't
There's
think
not a lot of interest in
It's not
negative
interest
blood
in
type.
it.
They said they don't use it fast enough.
We need to
because
make
we
a demand for this.
we aliens we live forever. So it's
Oh,
Yeah,
so
we
it's
don't
more
need
of
it.
like the humans that
yeah,
need
they're like,
it.
oh, we have no blood. Like the government wants to buy our blood though for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't
they'll
know
just
why.
they'll just take
Oh
it.
my lord! Don't start that.
Don't do your DNA kits, bro.
Too late. I'm in.
What'd you
What?
do?
Really?
23andMe.
Dude, you see the other one though? The other DNA kit?
Ancestry or whatever.
No, FBI picked it
Oh
up.
yeah.
The leaf one.
but hey,
whatever it's called.
Yeah,
But-
I saw that.
But that's on all of them though. They can sell to any third party vendor they want, man.
I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it is valuable information.
But you ever watch that movie with Arnold
Yeah,
Schwarzenegger? What was it, Judgment Day, where they cloned him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's what
those
they're gonna
those
do with
probably
you,
clone
bro.
of you
Why
running
they don't
around.
want two
One
of
day-
me?
Well,
Doesn't know
watch,
shit
dude.
about
One day
jujitsu.
you're gonna come home and there's gonna be a purple belt that walks in, and it's gonna be him. You're gonna be like, what the fuck?
That's very Joseph Campbell. That is wow. I mean, I'll roll him.
No, it'd be interesting though. I'd love to see what my DNA is, but man, it's just, man, to give my blood to something and
Nope.
never know where it'll go.
Hopefully, it goes to research.
Oh, you
know,
just did
hopefully-
saliva, right? Or
Yeah, I
do you
just
do,
did,
yeah.
it's just saliva. Yeah, but hopefully, I mean, one reason I did it was hopefully I'm donating some information to the giant pool. And they can see what sort of genes I have compared to everybody else, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the ideological part of me. Maybe
Now,
they did
do
that,
you-
maybe they didn't. I
Do
don't
you
know.
get an updated report every like 6 months? Because I know
Sort
they
of. Whenever
say-
they make a discovery or whatever, you can tell them if you want them to keep your data or not.
Yeah.
And if you say yes, which I did, then they can continually. It's just
Check it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just digital data, so they just blast
Yeah,
it.
because every time their tests are getting better and better,
Yeah.
and they're finding new lineages and stuff
Right,
like
lineages, different carriers for diseases and stuff. It's just a test. It's just a computer test. Once they figure out the test and the parameters to put in that test, then it's just like, oh, let's take Pat's DNA. Boom. Okay, now he has nothing to do with Huntington's disease, but go ahead and tell him. So he's fine with that. Or shit, man, you got a weird.
that. You're from Mars, bro.
It's not. Dude, there's a lot of weird stuff about DNA. Just
Yeah,
like
dude.
Neanderthal DNA is kind of weird.
That's why it'd be interesting to get my. I told her, she's like, I don't know if you should do it, and I'm like, man, it'd be interesting because I have a rare blood type, so it's just interesting what DNA comes along with that blood, like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's some weird stuff. Like, there's a third-party program called Prometheus, and it takes your data from.
Now
out.
that's creepy.
I'm out. Bye.
I seen that
Peace.
movie.
Shit.
Yeah.
They take your DNA data and they blast it to a giant data pool of all kinds of stuff, and like they break it down in positive, negative, neutral. So like positives for me, one was, I could, what funny one was like I could metabolize caffeine 1.7 times faster than an average person. Okay, positive, I guess. Doesn't really nothing on me. Negative was like, okay, you have 0.7 times percentage to get prostate cancer because of this gene. It's not saying that you're going to get it. It's just like this gene is connected to prostate cancer. Yeah. There's a ton of those. Funny thing was in the positive, there's a ton of anti-prostate cancer stuff.
Oh,
so it's like, okay, you can't really freak out when you read these things. Macular degeneration, that's a big one that I had. I had like a bunch of genes that were pointing to like, it's not guaranteed you're going to get it, but these increase your chances
of getting it.
And what's cool with that program is that on the back end it says, here are ways to prevent that. It's like eat brightly colored vegetables your whole fucking life. Wear sunglasses. It's like just things that you could
leave.
Yeah. Another one was, this is really weird, but it was on there that I had a good chance of my daughters having large breasts. And now I don't know if that was a fucking troll, if that was like a Prometheus troll, but I remember that like, what in the world? Why would okay, whatever.
I feel like that's the thing. You ever did that thing in school where like you for Valentine's you'd circle everything and you get like matches? That's how it is with your DNA. They're like, okay, I'm gonna fuck with this guy.
Right.
He's gonna be 15% black today. He's gonna be 32% Asian. Oh, and we're gonna go at 90% here. Wait, that's over 100%. Oh, he's not gonna know.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing about that with the whole race thing is that it's not very accurate.
It's not.
Because how? Well, how do you do it? How do you
break down a percentage of a DNA?
Yeah.
Into
about damn near impossible. But what they do is they say, all right, people that live in we'll say Spain, people that live in Spain and they've lived there for generation. They took this test. And this is pretty much Spanish DNA, right? And then Pat from America takes his DNA test, and it's like, whoa, it matches up 72% with all these people from Spain. Or, all these Japanese people who've lived in Japan their whole life, or their generation after generation, they've lived in Japan. They take those genetics and they kind of make a baseline for that race or whatever. Then they take Americans, because basically we're the only ones doing it right now. I don't think any other country's doing that. This is weird.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Why are we the only country wanting to know?
Just because we got it so good.
Dude, they're tricking us, bro. There's something going on that we don't know.
Well, yeah. Of course there is. Yeah.
Why would they want all Americans' DNA?
It's very, very, very valuable knowledge, medical knowledge. It will press and help develop medical technologies. That's hands down pro.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of data for nefarious reasons as well.
Well, and I was surprised, like, they haven't already done it, like with the FBI, like taking that one DNA and finding people. I mean, it's smart to do that because there are stupid people out there that will be like, oh, I killed like 20 people like 30 years ago. No one will ever find out. And you're like, oh,
by the way,
I found out I'm Scottish and I'm going to prison.
right. Yeah, I mean, hopefully that's the reason that the FBI is using it. But at the same time, a little flag in your head goes up and goes, they got my DNA?
Like now that you,
what can they do with that?
Yeah, are they going to plant something on me? Like,
how easy would it be to do that?
Yeah, like, oh, hey, sir, we got your DNA. We seen that you crossed the street over here. Yep. Someone died over there.
Think about,
in jail.
This is going to sound weird, but think about how much DNA you've left on the mat. Hair comes out, some saliva, sweat.
Dude.
I don't know if sweat has DNA, but skin cells have DNA.
Yep.
So it's like, how easy would it be just to scrape up a little bit? Oh, that's Pat's hair, And then we have your DNA. See, that's weird. That's fucking weird how
easy
biological data privacy is going to be huge here in about 2 or 3, 4, 5 years.
Oh, God, yeah.
Everyone's tracking their heartbeat. Everyone's tracking their sleep. Imagine that shit. You have a Google Home or Alexa in your bedroom.
Not even
that's
that,
taking
bro.
up all your sound.
Google glasses, your whole 9 yard, bro.
Think about your phone. When you Google something,
your
that
phone.
day,
Your phone alone.
it tells you, like, I was looking up prices of cat food the other day. You know what I mean? And then bam, all over Facebook. It was like cat food.
Of course.
Cat food.
Hey,
oh my God.
I just want to say it now. They're going to come out with a technology gadget that literally probably goes on your wrist. Like, you know how quarterbacks used to have like the little shield thing?
Yeah.
Literally, it'd probably be a thing for your phone and you just like tap it like that and it'll pop out. And it'll be like a hologram and you'll be able to control it and it'll be like, oh, hey, you have chances for a cold today.
Mm-hmm.
You might need to put a sweater on.
Or
it's like some stupid shit. That's what it's
take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Hey, you have chances for a cold. NyQuil's on sale.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
If you have something
deliver now.
Yes. If you have something that's reading your biological metrics, heart rate, temperature, all that kind of stuff, and it's smart enough algorithm to kind of crunch that data and kind of go, this is a first time mom. She's a little bit nervous about this baby's temperature. Buy this brand new baby thermometer, and you're like, and you are very susceptible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%.
Because you're like, oh shit, my baby. Yep. Yeah, and you'll do it.
SIDS alone.
Not just you.
You know what SIDS is, right? That alone made us get like 3 different things that we honestly have barely used. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like with the child.
And imagine if it was just
I was
like
so fearful.
Right.
And it was all over like our, mom and dad pages, the
course
places, the classes we went to, were very stressfully,
Right.
And it's just like, man, now.
Wasn't that big a deal.
Yeah, it really wasn't. Like, our baby has slept with us in our bed our whole time. Never once has anything dangerous ever happened.
Right.
Other
Not
than
even
farts.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are fucking
Farts
dangerous.
are fierce.
I got that from you.
Yeah. You got that from someone.
But yes,
Definitely you.
Marketers and advertisers, they prey upon emotion, including fear, especially fear. Think about any time that Missouri has dictated a state of emergency because of weather. What happens? Shelves go bare.
Oh, yeah.
That fast.
I was telling her
The
that.
ice the other day.
Yeah, we talk about it, how like they'll get on this show, like when there's any bad weather, tornado watch.
Oh, instantly.
Well, Jocelyn's got PTSD from.
Well, no, and that's the thing.
From a
Just
tornado.
because we've been in a tornado, they're like, anytime there's bad weather, it's like people freak out. People rush to the store, like, and then you get on the commercials and you start seeing all these commercials for things, and you're like,
Yep.
Man, like,
dude, it's all data. It's all fucking data. You can render everything down to data, and that's what AI doesn't really scare me as far as Terminator goes. That's there in my head, but it's there. But what scares me is that all these behaviors, these patterns of behavior, addiction, all that kind of stuff, that is data, and that can be crunched by a machine. And then if the machine is powerful enough, it could probably predict the damn future. Meaning, if the machine goes, okay, we're gonna release a news feature about this tornado that's coming in, and because the average viewer of this news channel is 12,000 people in this radius, Walmart stock should go up by $7.
Yeah,
Plays
100%
out,
they
and then
do that.
everything
Yeah.
goes, and it's like
Oh,
actually the stock went up by $7.25. It's like holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
That's a lot of power.
Yeah.
That's a lot of scary power.
Yep.
What else could they do with that?
There's
You
a
know.
lot of,
And that's
yeah,
just looking
that's
at it from
terrifying.
like that in it, man. People that are in it, they're looking deeper.
And there's so much more ahead too. We're 5
Yeah.
years ahead of thinking like that than we
Right.
ever are sitting here thinking of it for 20 minutes.
Well, think
You know what I
about
mean?
so that's kind of that's like playground nefarious stuff. Like, oh, we got everyone to buy this piece of shit. Now put it in their perspective with like a Holocaust, and they can influence you with that sort of emotion, and that sort of they can imbue you with a certain behavior and idea that quick, and they say, hey, these people are bad. That's fucking scary.
Well, that's like, dude, you're talking about like Google Home and Alexa and all that stuff. That you got the refrigerators that like, hey, you need to restock on your eggs, your
Yeah.
Dude,
stuff.
that's mind control in a sense. It is because it's controlling. There's electronics that control basically everything we do. Our phones, our alarms control when we wake up. There's like that, all kinds of different things. And when you like the weather, when you get one alert, it controls all of your behavior for the next 48 hours.
And they know that.
Yeah, 100%.
And they know that.
They're aware of it. They know what they're doing of it. And it's just, it's a dangerous mindset to be in. And I think children who are growing up looking at all this electronic stuff, that's why we have so much like depression and, kids who are ADHD and all this. Man, I think everybody should go out to the woods, just get back in touch with nature and just get away from all the electronic stuff.
Such a fucking hippie.
I know.
Jeez.
It's terrible.
No, it's good. Definitely good advice
Yeah.
for sure. I mean,
It's just dangerous to be thought about, something in your hand can hear what you say, put it in front of you. Imagine growing up like that as a child.
right.
That's dangerous.
Big brother.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, but I mean, I could argue that it's good too, though.
Yeah,
I
there's
mean,
been a lot of great things come out of it.
a lot. Crime has gone down. We got to deal with the mental
but-
stuff
but
and whatnot.
Crime
now
goes
look at
down,
the-
but you know what? That just means criminals get smarter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean-
obviously more crime today is cybercrime, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
so,
the
you're
big
saying
thing.
like bullying.
So
and all
I
that.
mean, you got to
Yeah,
think about
bullying's a big one.
But I mean, the biggest thing is they're just going to get smarter.
But I just don't think that people have nefarious goals, motives. I think it's just good people, and they're like, man, you know what'd be cool? A refrigerator that tells you when you need
Yeah.
eggs. How cool would that be?
I
Yeah.
think
right? I mean,
think
I
there's
think it
anything
starts
bad
out like
behind it,
that.
right.
but
Well,
there's
okay, so how
people-
does it turn into Terminator?
you
Well,
know.
it's the same as like, okay, here's an example. I'm an ex-drug addict, you know what I mean? All that. Look at Big Pharma. They I'm sure they started with medicines and stuff like that to help people in a good way.
Right.
But look how okay,
Well, look at the studies now.
Yeah,
the
some
studies.
people
The studies
took it
there
though and
prove
made it
it that
bad.
the medicine's not.
it's not
It's
work,
not
yeah.
It's not a thing to work. It's a thing to prolong.
But it's that people took something that was probably not inherently meant to be dangerous or bad, and they, abused it, took over, and it became this big ordeal, and all this stuff.
It always seems like size. Size equals corruption, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard for like if us four were in a tribe, it's kind of hard for me to take food from you
Yeah.
because obviously you're right here,
Yeah.
your purple belt, and you would see it, and I would be like, oh man, he's sad that I took his food.
Yeah.
I really don't want to do that again,
But
know.
that you're.
But now multiply that by 20 million, and it's like, fuck.
I
this
don't ever
country.
have to see that, dude. I don't have to see that.
How much is my bank account? Yeah, fucking drop that bomb. Like it doesn't.
Yeah,
It
it
just
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
comprehend. But if you were there in a smaller group on a smaller scale, you will feel that emotion, that empathy towards the fuckery that you're putting on
You're
this person.
definitely right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So it's a thing with size. That's what Google. Google is don't be evil. That was in their slogan or their saying or whatever, and they end up taking that out. But they replaced it with do the right thing, which is ambiguous. But that's when does Google, a thing like Google, start out as a good thing, we want to create a search engine and push the globe into a new technological frontier to we have every piece of data on every person that we
It's all about who takes charge, though, man. It all comes
Yeah.
down to like what people are getting in there. When Google first started, it was like-minded people that wanted it to be easier to search things. And from there it went up, and then the more power it took, the more responsibility and the more control it shows. Because I don't care who you are, Google is the number one search engine. Like you can search anything you want. on
dude, it's
Google.
Bing, bro.
Yeah, fuck Bing. Bing is gay.
It is.
I
It's
hate
a terrible
Bing.
name.
It's terrible.
Bing.
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 I hate hate it. I've
Yeah.
never
That
liked
everybody
it.
knows it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But
Like,
no
its
one
name
likes
is
it.
out
No
there.
one uses it.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
But Google, I mean, that's the thing. And then when you have something that big and that's that lucrative, like, you know, people can play into the, like, hey, we're going to put you over in here and you're going to build up in this company and you're going to run this company. And when you run this company, we're going to tell you what to do. And, you know, just like you said, they run a good slogan. You know, they have a good slogan. They, you know, they put on a good image. Everybody can put on a good image. You have a good advertising team. You can do whatever you want. So at face value, yeah, they're cool. They're Google searches. But in the background, look, they know everything that you search or think. And it's crazy because I can sit my phone right here and I can talk about stuff. And 20 minutes later, I get on my Facebook or I get on something and it's something I've talked about.
That used to be like a, hey, I think this might be happening. And now it's
normal. And look what they
you
did.
know.
They made it something out there and then they act like they put it out there like, oh, it's nothing big. And, you know,
And
and
now
then
we're
it's
completely fine
normal.
with it. Yeah, now it's became a state of normal instead of being concerned about it.
Right.
That's where
It's actually kind of cool. Actually,
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
mean-
I
It's
did
not-
need duck calls.
It's not
Yeah,
bad, but
right.
man, it's scary, man. Cause
It is scary.
Because what if you know, you just never know why that's happening. And
Well, the road, you can see the road. And you're like, man, if it went down some dictatorship, it's game over for all of us.
well, just like this, like just imagine.
Here's your list of words you can't say. If you say, we'll fucking know.
Oh, well, you said robbery, so
Yeah.
you're under arrest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like
Terrorism.
wait, what? Yeah, you said terrorism 32 times. What?
I thought I said 31.
But stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
It just, you know, it comes out to be nothing. Starts out at nothing, ends up being like.
And if you look down the road, once again, not too far down the road, these robots are running shit. These AIs. Already, Jack Dorsey was on the podcast. He's the CEO of Twitter.
Listen to
And
it.
yes, and the questions that he asked, like, Joe or Sam or whoever, why was such and such taken off the platform? He goes, I don't know. The algorithms did it, you know?
Yeah.
That's what's going to keep happening on these huge scales of why did such and such get elected? The robots did it. You know, they're programmed to do something and they executed
The
that.
higher percentage out of that county was that.
Yep.
So we just automatically went through the whole state. Like,
Yes. That to me is fucking creepy. That no person or group of persons is running it. It's
you know
just
what I
this
don't
algorithm
understand
that's crunching numbers.
is why are we not voting for the president like on our phones?
Dude.
Like, why isn't it not like that? Because I think that would be a better way
Yeah.
than how we have it now. Because I feel like now is such an
doubt.
easy way to
It is.
make it the way
Manipulate
you
the
want to
system,
go.
yeah.
Well, the Electoral College alone is ridiculous, right?
Dude, it's all ridiculous.
We could 99% of America could vote for one candidate, and the Electoral College would be like, nah, we like the other guy, we like the other girl. What do you know? And it's like, wait a minute, I thought we did this the right way. We 100% of us chose that, but the Electoral College says, nah.
We just need to vote everything from phones. Like, hey, we're gonna vote on something. You just vote from your phone.
Shouldn't it? And it should be longer than a fucking day, right? They give you a day. They're like from 8 o'clock to 8 p.m. You can come in, and it's like, well, all of us work 16-hour, 12-hour days. You know, how the fuck? You guys
That's why
have
they do it, 'cause
kids.
it's the illusion of choice.
Right.
It's the illusion.
Why wouldn't
of
you do it
being
over
able to-
multiple days? Like, hey, this week we're all voting, so make sure you come down at some point. Or 3 days. You got 3 days. If you don't vote, whatever, you know. But if you had a phone, you could do it at any point. And with a phone or even a computer, like if you had to log in, it had to be like a fingerprint,
You
like
have
a
to
face
use your
scan.
social. Like,
Yeah,
you
all
have
that
to
kind
like
of
be a
stuff.
citizen to vote. Like, the
I
whole
mean,
what-
think about like things like PayPal. You know what I mean? Like if you
How can we
log
do our
in-
banking over the internet, but
But
we
we
can't
can't
do our
vote?
politics?
Exactly. Yeah.
Even local politics. Like let's just do the experiment from the
Mayor,
bottom
like,
up.
Just the mayor.
You know? Yeah.
Like
Yeah, Joplin politics. We're gonna vote on our phones, and we'll start
Dude,
there. And
did
then
we just come out
Did
with
you
something?
make an
Dude,
app?
time out. Dude, we need to come out with this. If we came out with this, we'd change how like,
I mean-
cities would vote. Probably, I bet we'd find somebody that, dude.
you'd have to build an app.
You got to
You'd
build an
have to have
app,
an
but
app.
find a mayor that would take it on, and then say, "Hey, run your election off of this app." So if he won,
I think that's what you have to do. You'd have to start at the bottom.
Yeah.
We couldn't just start
That's how
voting
you
for
do it.
president.
no, you'd have to do
Yeah.
mayors. Just do mayors,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
you start out small, and you say, "Hey, you win." And you promote the app.
Well, proof of concept
Yeah.
too. If we go to Congress and we're like, hear ye, you know, we have this idea.
It went up
And they're
40%,
They're like, oh bullshit, you know, that's
So
not
we've had
true. And it's like,
40
by the way, well,
mayors.
we've been doing it for 5 years
yeah,
now.
exactly. We've had 40 mayors, 20, governor, this
Right.
and that, all, and they've all used it. And
Well, not only that, but it just shows like voting has went up in like 30% in
Oh,
that
right.
county or something like that.
Oh, I bet it'd be
from
way
them
more than
voting,
that.
Yeah, from them voting from the phone, we had 100% turnout instead
Yeah.
of 70% turnout.
Right.
And what is it? That'd be a good way to do like, what is it? The census process? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Like you could do that. How many people registered on it? You know, you could.
So we
do
just
lot
got
of
a
things,
$1 million idea. Just saying, if anybody wants to help us out,
There's
let
got
us
to be
know.
someone way further ahead on that
Yeah.
within us.
Yeah.
Oh, hopefully, or
They're
watch
like,
somebody who's gonna be like,
Voted on your phone, 2001.
watch some guy's
Fucking
gonna have it out
China.
next month.
I'm cool with that. I mean, I wish it was our idea and we got paid for it, but I would love to vote on my phone
Yep.
Yeah,
for
that'd be
anything. I would love to be able to see all the things I'm voting for, and they always word it real weird and crazy, and be able to hit a YouTube video that's like some guy going, "This vote is between this and this, pros and cons. Go ahead, vote."
Oh, yeah, they
and that'd be
word
tough
stuff
to
so
do.
crazy.
That'd be really tough to do, and not be too biased one way or the other, But if you could keep it unbiased and make like a 2-minute breakdown of this issue, Prop A or Prop B, what's what, because it is.
Yeah.
Because for me, I hear people all the time like, vote no on Prop A. I'm like,
What the
okay.
fuck is Prop A?
Well,
Yeah,
why do
like-
I vote no?
Yeah, like-
and a lot of times they're like, if you vote no, then that will increase the money. It's like, wait, why does no increase the money? Like, it's just
doesn't
so
make
convoluted.
sense.
No,
well,
it
that
doesn't.
was like did you ever see when they were doing the Missouri
Medical marijuana?
Medical marijuana.
Yeah,
didn't make
they
any
screwed that
sense.
up.
That
yeah,
one
so
guy
horrible.
was like, "Oh, he's a governor or a lawyer. He was a lawyer. Wanted to like own all the dispensaries or do whatever and hike his tax up." I'm like, dude, like, and if you have a good enough advertising team and marketing team, you can win and make that
For politics?
For politics, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
I know. It's all about that. Everything is on social. Everything is on YouTube. I get all my data from online sources.
Yep.
I don't watch TV. I don't watch CNN. I don't watch Fox.
No.
And that's just going to continue.
No. Oh yeah, dude. Watching like cable or any of that crap, dude.
We don't
it's-
have it because
No.
of that. I don't want to watch news every day. I don't want
Or pay $150 a month
Yeah.
for
I'm
channels
not
I don't
doing
watch.
that.
for stuff that I don't want to watch. They're forcing me to watch that.
That
I'm just
it's
like,
60% commercials. I can barely watch a football game on CBS because
dude,
the commercials are outrageous.
I hate commercials on Hulu, bro.
yeah, but
Yeah.
you can pay.
Yeah, I can pay. Yeah, but I ain't gonna pay that, dude.
But the option is there.
yeah.
On CBS, it's
It's
just
not,
like
yeah,
bend
they force you.
over.
Oh yeah, and it's like 2-3 minutes worth of
They're
commercials,
terrible.
dude. I remember when
They're
commercials
awful.
were like 20 seconds. They were done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
man.
Now they're like, all
Oh,
right,
no.
get ready. You could go to the store, come back. Your show's gonna
Dude,
start.
you really could.
Yeah, it's
You're like, oh, this is an hour-long drama. No, it's 25 minutes
Yeah, I was
of
getting
narrative.
ready to
The
say
rest,
that, yeah.
35 or
Yeah.
30 minutes is fucking
You watch
commercials.
an hour show, it's really like 25
It
minutes
is.
of show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I don't understand. I'm like, man, why do I watch the same commercial over and
It's
over?
fucking brainwash.
It's just crazy.
It is.
It
It's just
is.
repetition.
Yeah.
Repetition.
It's like, man, out of all the commercials, you're gonna show like 1,000 different commercials, but you're gonna show me the same 7 commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
And then sometimes they play the long version,
Yeah.
sometimes they play the short version,
I'm
but
like-
they make sure that they hit the cues, whatever they are. Geico can save you 15%. Sorry.
Yeah, fuck
that was stuck up there.
fuck Geico.
But no, that's truth. But it will continue to. They're gonna get really tricky with their commercials. It's gonna
It's
gonna
already
get
gotten
baked
weird.
into the
Yeah.
movies and stuff,
Yeah.
and you're
Well,
not even
that's
gonna
like-
notice.
What were we talking about the other day? What is that freaking new show on Netflix that's interactive?
oh, Black Mirror.
Is that what it is? Okay, is that
Bandersnatch.
I don't know.
It's called Bandersnatch.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. It's that just blew my fucking mind the other day watching that because I went, you know what? No one's gonna ever leave the couch. They're never because you have to click it every 6 seconds or so or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's interacting a video game with a movie. And so
Mm-hmm.
to me, it just almost draws you in even more because it's physically asking you to do something along with asking you to sit and watch.
Yeah, I've thought a lot about that. Like, why won't video games take over the media
They
of
kinda
TV
are,
shows?
yeah.
And they kind of
They
are,
are.
especially
I
with the younger
mean,
generation.
Yeah.
But they take too much energy.
That's
the
what
thing.
I'm saying.
That's
Like
the problem.
it's putting that energy, that wasted
Mm-hmm.
energy, just even more into one freaking show. Like
Oh,
you're
I
not
mean,
only,
like- If you come home, you went to work all day, the daughter's been wild.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really want to strap a headset on and fucking go infiltrate an alien planet?
no, yeah,
You want to watch a
chill,
documentary
yeah.
about Ted Bundy, and you want to be like, no shit, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
want to chill.
Yeah.
You just want to chill. And so that's one big reason why I just don't see virtual reality or video games totally taking over.
Yeah,
They're
me too.
ultra popular, but it takes a
but
lot of.
I don't know. I think the virtual reality,
Mm-hmm.
I think that can take over just because of the mindset of these younger generation people of like
That's what I
not
was
wanting to
gonna say.
leave
The
their
older
room.
people aren't like that.
Like just
Us and
imagine
older aren't
a
like
kid that is sheltered enough where they don't really have a lot of friends and their friends are probably morally online.
Right.
And I can go home and put a suit on, and let's just say I can go play Call of Duty with a suit on.
Right.
And not only, I think in the future you'll be able to feel like not gunshots, but you'll be able to feel stuff because they're
right.
getting to that now where like they're simulating like, oh, you feel
Right.
like a hit or something. But you come home and you can do that for 4 or 5 hours, and you get out of the reality of whether you're getting bullied or whether you just don't like the life that you're living.
Yeah.
You get to live a whole nother life that, whether it's virtual reality, you're living in Africa or China, or you're or you're fighting zombies or
I mean, I think that's
saving
gonna be the way
somebody.
people travel too. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
you
won't
you're
travel.
Like,
Hey,
I
bro,
want to take a trip, but I don't
Just
have the money.
imagine
Like,
this.
You won't travel.
Yeah.
Burning Man. I know like going to the experience is like the experience, but just imagine when you can just put a headset on and be at Burning Man in your this
In your living
room.
room.
Well,
Yeah.
they already do that with NBA games.
Yeah.
They sell virtual
Those
tickets
tickets,
to sit on the
Are
where
you
Jack
kidding me?
No,
Yeah.
where Jack
Oh
Nicholson
my God.
sits.
See, I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
And it's
That's crazy.
actually pretty
You watch
badass.
the game and everything. Yeah.
You have your headphones on, so you hear the announcers. You see, and it could be like all three of us there, and we're sitting next to each other, and I look over and I see Misha sit next to me
That's
in the virtual
insane.
world, you know.
That's insane.
That's
to
how it's
me.
gonna be, though.
That's
And they
how-
sell for hundreds of dollars.
Jesus. See,
And just
imagine
imagine.
never having to leave. You know,
You won't.
You can order pizza with a drone.
And then
you
no.
know?
Well,
you
no.
can order your groceries. You don't
Hey,
ever have to leave your.
You
fucking
access
house.
that
Like,
virtual reality, and then you go into the like your own little city or whatever,
Yeah.
and you use digital currency.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what's
Mind
gonna happen.
blown.
That's what's happening
Right there. That's
Yeah.
what's going to happen.
It will.
Yeah.
That's what
It
it's
will.
going to be. And movies today are already putting that stuff out.
What
and
is
they're,
that? There's a movie that kid is like, what I'm trying to think. And
You're
he
talking-
drives the car. What is the movie? I'm trying to
don't
think of
know.
it. They play like the video game. And
You're thinking of the guy that's
It's like a virtual reality thing, yeah. But they have the
Yeah.
suits and all that. I can't think of it right now, but there's a
Well,
movie out there like that.
Think about like people are working out of their houses more and more. You know,
Yeah.
no one's really going anywhere.
No.
Businesses are slowly outsourcing to Singapore or
Amazon.
Chicago or Amazon.
Like,
It's like, well, a lot of Amazon's orders are fulfilled by fucking robots. You
Yeah.
know, you put your order in, it's like,
yeah.
ship it out. You know, no one's there.
Done.
Yeah, no one's there. So yeah, like it makes total sense that I will see you at work tomorrow, and hey, let's go to Mars. Let's go on Mars. You're like, yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds cool. You know, let's have lunch at Mars.
dude, virtual
Totally
reality,
seems-
man. It's gonna happen, man.
Yes, it will.
And I think it'll be a good thing, but I think it'll be a bad thing too, man. Just because it'll just give people that other reason
Human?
never to leave, and
Some
never
people
to
won't leave.
and
Yeah.
never to have that feeling of like really going out. Like people get that feeling in life where you're like, hey, dude, I just got to do something bigger than this.
Right.
Everybody has that, and I think with the virtual reality, it's going to take that away from a lot of people
Yeah.
because they'll get to, what do I need?
Humans are becoming
I got everything I
obsolete.
want.
That's
Right.
what it
Do I
is.
want to? I'll go. If a guy wants a really hot girl, he's gonna go into virtual
Just the
reality
digital.
and go get it. Because nowadays they're gonna have stuff out there that's gonna be
Just as good or better.
just as good as bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, man,
Dude, it's a philosophical question of
Yeah.
what is going to happen to human motivation and a human experience. Because it, like you said, it kind of removes all the motivations of doing the really hard stuff. It's like if you start your own business, it's really hard, but the reward is like you're your own boss. That's
Yeah.
cool, you know? Or it's really hard to talk to a pretty girl because she could reject you. The good part is you might turn out to be your wife
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you can go into the digital world, and like you said, kids are already doing this, and adults too, that you can do whatever you want. Like when I played that Ark game, the feeling that I figured out with Ark is that Ark is all about chores. It's just a game of chores. Go harvest some wood, build a little hut, feed your dinosaurs. That's fucking chores.
that's all you do.
But it's rewarding because I go, well, I did harvest 100 wood today, and it feels like I was productive even though I did nothing. Because if I really wanted to go harvest a bunch of wood, dude,
It'd take forever.
it would take forever, a ton
See,
of
but that's
energy.
the illusion of
that-
satisfaction.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
You're
and that's
exactly
the
right.
illusion of it.
Well, that's just
Right.
like
Yeah.
they started that, and people like I hate to say it, but Farmville.
Yeah.
On Facebook.
Oh, I loved
Yeah.
Farmville.
I
too.
have so
fucking
many
loved
people. Yeah.
that thing.
Oh
yeah.
man, like I just harvest all this. I'm like,
yeah,
But
it means
it's 'cause You're
nothing.
needed. You have this.
You're
sense
feeling
of,
that
like,
sense of being
Yep.
needed, and doing
That's
something.
porn. 100%
Oh,
porn
yeah.
is
Yep.
there's all these women in these provocative positions, and you're like, I won. I'm the monkey that won all the
Hell
other
yeah.
monkeys.
Yep.
It's fake. And that's why the addiction comes in, because you're never fulfilled.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're never fulfilled. It's like, a little
Dude,
bit more.
virtual
now
reality
imagine-
addiction is going to be horrible.
Oh, it's going to be
It's already a thing.
It's just-
It's already
unsolvable,
horrible.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
It'll just be crazy, man, because you'll just see. I mean, I'll like it because no one will want to go outdoors, so I won't have to see anybody out in the
Yeah,
Right.
there you go.
But it'll just be like, man, it'll just suck because a lot of people will be inside. But I mean, I'm investing in all that kind of stuff. So when I hope it does happen because it'll make me rich.
Yeah, right.
So-
I mean, it will cut down on population control, because it's
Yeah.
like, listen, we're just gonna hook you up to an IV. We'll keep your body going, but your mind's gonna be in the matrix.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right?
That's how it'll be, dude.
It
'cause
will, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna take up a 6x6 space, and we're gonna put you in this stack of spaces, and you won't be able to run around Earth and do anything cool in real life. But anything you want, just shoot us up, and the coders will code it for you.
Oh yeah, dude. And I don't think relationships will be a big thing in the future, man. Just because of that, because like people will be so on their being with themselves, being alone, and virtual reality will be everything. Like you won't need to have that other person to make that bond. You get to pick who you want to be with.
You could pick any. You don't even have
just
to pick a
imagine it.
human. You
Yeah,
could pick
like-
like a fucking
Whatever.
3-headed horse dolphin thing
Yeah.
if you really wanted. If you really wanted
whatever
to.
you want, and that's
That's
the
what
thing.
I'm into.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering, and I'm glad you finally told
No,
me.
but really, you could do any of that.
yeah, and
Which
that's,
is also.
and what's crazy is I hate to say this, just because too many people have too much time on their hands.
Yeah.
If you didn't have all that time on your hands, you wouldn't be thinking all that stuff.
That's true.
But
It's too easy to live, right? No one's really struggling.
dude,
No
and-
tigers to rip your
Well,
skull off.
it's the same
no.
as like you said, the Rickawood in your video game.
Mm-hmm.
If you cut a Rickawood in your video game, you're kind of like, oh, I feel satisfied. You know, that was nice.
Pseudo
But-
satisfied.
Yeah, but now imagine if you did it in physical life.
Mm-hmm.
When you were done and you were exhausted and you're sweaty and you get, that cold glass of water and you
Yeah.
drink it and you go, man,
Yeah.
I just fucking did that. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like you feel good, you sleep better, you
Yep.
know, there's a different satisfaction doing it in real life than there is in the virtual world. And I think taking that
yeah.
away from people is really going to damage them.
It's the same sense of like if we all got a bag of Doritos, it would be delicious, but no one's going to be full. Everyone's going to be like, man, I didn't get any nutrition from
Yeah.
that, but it was delicious.
Yeah.
So we get another bag and we eat more and we're like, man, I feel like shit.
Yeah.
Get another bag, But
It is. It
if
is
we
like
had
that.
a nice, delicious meal with lean meat and vegetables and everything with true nutrition, you eat that one time and you're like, wow,
I'm solid. Yep.
I'm solid. Yeah. That's kind of what that whole thing's about.
Yep, I completely
You feel productive, yet you didn't do shit. You clicked on a mouse.
that
you know.
facade. Yep.
Yeah. Pseudo. What do we call that? Pseudo success. Or what'd you call it?
Facade?
No,
Or
no.
False, like the illusion of success.
No, the other word.
I don't know. I just
I
don't
forgot it.
remember.
I don't know.
The Matrix.
That's what it's going to be. Which is going to be cool
Yeah.
because we can do a lot of cool shit in there. Like we can roll as much as we want. And if you want
Imagine
Never be
that, but
tired.
being fat in real life, or like being
Well-
super heavyweight. No, what I'm saying though is like imagine.
sounds awesome.
Yeah, right. I can't wait to be old
There'd
and
be
fat.
so many
but
obese people.
that's what I was going to say. Imagine
Yeah.
working out in a video game, but in real life,
That's like The
that would
Sims.
be-
The Sims just
that
hurt
would
my
just fuck
head.
with your self image. Oh my god, that would just like.
That's
destroy
really
your
me.
self-image.
Well, you probably wouldn't age in a virtual world,
Yeah.
right? Unless you were like, I want to be Gandalf.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
like
that's the thing. You can be whoever you want.
mm-hmm.
So
That's terrible.
See, that gets to the edge of consciousness and what is it, and can we jump? Can I
Oh,
jump
yeah.
from this to there?
Well, just imagine, dude.
Machines.
someone does like some LSD and throws on some goggles and like
Hold on, buddy. Hold on.
it'd be bad.
Yeah,
I
but
wanna
we're
do
we're
that.
getting to the point where LSD might be a joke.
Yeah.
Compared to the synthetic stuff that we come out with,
Yeah.
going like, this is built on LSD. This is LSD 42, and it came straight from the lab, and we built it out of this, and
Yep.
it's like, it's. What if it was like a little dream dropper? Like you've always wanted that. I've always wanted that.
Oh,
like where it's like,
God.
man, what do I want to dream about tonight?
Yeah.
This one. That would
Oh,
be.
God,
What if
that'd
that?
be
Oh
intense.
man, that'd be intense.
It'd be a wild ride, but
I don't know.
It's gonna happen. Once they figure out why we sleep, which is weird that we don't know that, and they figure out consciousness, and they figure out the virtual reality gets really, really looking good. Kind of figure out a couple of those questions, and then it's just off to the races. And I don't know where we go. That's one of the theories about extraterrestrial life and intelligent life. Where are they? Elon Musk will say one of his theories is that they got so far advanced that they created alternate worlds, uploaded themselves into the alternate worlds, and that's where they are. They've removed themselves from this reality to a reality that they created.
See, and who are we to say that's not possible?
It's
It's
we've been talking about it the whole time.
Exactly. It's 100% possible. Everything that you can think of is 100% possible. And that's crazy.
That is weird. Because that's kind of true.
Yeah, it is.
It all can be true. They all be
Anything
wrong.
you can think of, anything you could imagine could possibly be true.
Yeah.
Like, how did Earth really start?
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That kind of gets into the whole multiverse type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, like in a multiverse, you guys had a boy, not a girl, right? Right, and that's just like one tiny little rendition.
Yeah.
In the multiverse, you're the girl, you're the guy. You know, and you just
It'd
it gets
be-
weirder and weirder.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All possibilities happen somewhere on that line of the multiverse, if it's infinite line or
Mm-hmm.
infinite
Maybe that's
timeline.
where. Maybe that's where what we dream is a alternate universe.
I've heard people say that.
I could-
it's-
Because you're like, some dreams you're like, oh man, like I did this, but that actually didn't really happen. It happened like this. And
Yeah.
Deja
That
vu. Deja vu.
Yeah. I don't know. The multiverse is weird, and it's weird that physicists, like, they're like, yeah, it's real. It's probably real. Like the smartest guys we have on Earth are like, yeah. They're not like bong hitting hippies. They're like multiverse. No, it's like the smartest dudes on Earth, the smartest gals on Earth are like,
Like we did
Yeah.
the calculations.
Yeah.
And yes, there is.
like wait, what? You're supposed to be the one that's telling us this isn't possible. Like, no, all things are possible. Yeah, it's weird, man. It's weird.
It's just hard to think about. It's crazy. Can imagine it. It could be possible.
Well, I know one thing. I said I know we're not the only ones here. There's no way. There's just
As far as intelligent
yeah,
life?
there's just no way. There's no way. The probability is just not there.
The numbers, the Fermi paradox,
Yeah,
kind of what you're
nothing.
referring to.
Yeah, nothing. It doesn't.
There's too much room, too much space, and too much time,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess room and space are the same thing, but
Yeah, there's just too much of it.
Yeah.
And for us to be so small,
yeah,
and just imagine everything that is around us that is smaller. To
Mm-hmm.
even think how minute it is, like not even a grain of sand. Like
yes.
Crazy.
that's
Yes.
how tiny we are,
Oh, dude,
It's just
when you start breaking down the mathematics of it all,
Dude,
of existence.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm not even a math person, and it blows my mind. And I can only imagine like a math person when they look at it, they're just like, oh yeah, like we're not the only people.
It just doesn't seem possible.
Yeah. And if you look at numbers and you look at numbers the right way, like everybody else does, the numbers don't lie. So the numbers don't lie. There's something out there.
Yeah.
And we choose not to see it because we choose not to see it.
Well, we're just not that advanced.
Oh yeah.
We're-
Well, look how many things we pass by that we don't see out in plain view, that we choose not to see. And
like what?
Just anything, man. Some days you'll drive by something, you just don't see it.
You're
Because
talking like individually.
yeah, individually.
Right.
Like there's things that you don't cognitively like recognize. You know what I mean? Like you don't
Yes.
like your daily
If
drive.
it was a snake, it would have bit me.
Well, just
Yeah.
imagine, like, I hate to say this, but not like a dinosaur, but if a dinosaur were to walk by, it would, if you were just walking with your head down and it walked by you, you'd be like, wouldn't think nothing. Then you'd be like, oh shit.
It would take a.
It'd take a minute. You'd be like, oh fuck, did I just walk past a fucking dinosaur?
Well,
Like,
you'd go through a list of like
yeah,
robot. That's a robot
Like,
dinosaur.
yeah, like,
Or
a
like,
robot.
oh, that's
That was
weird.
that was a
looks...
tree with a shadow. Like,
yeah, you'd go through a lot of stuff before you convinced yourself.
yeah. So like, you gotta literally pass something that might have looked like an alien or might have looked something that wasn't there, and it only takes that one time.
Oh, we're horrible at detail connect.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
So how? I mean, if the alien was just like 80% human looking, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, that's a funny looking dude. You know, it's
Right?
not.
Like,
That's an
remember
alien.
Remember when you were drunk, you were staring at that guy, and you were just like, "Man, he looks really weird." He's
Right.
probably a fucking alien.
I'll remember that next time I'm drunk
Yeah.
staring at guys.
Like, sorry, dude, I
Hey!
thought you were alien.
You alien? What'd you call me?
Your eyes are huge.
You're gonna call Pat.
He's
when
like,
you're
I was
"I'm
thinking
a
about
boss
you
fight."
being an alien.
Oh,
Dude, that's
God.
funny. That's funny. Well, it's been 2 hours and 48 minutes. You guys got to be
Dang.
somewhere. You got a little girl to take care of.
Yeah, we do got a baby to
Yeah,
get
I'm
home
about
too.
to pop. If you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, she got some milk in the
You know,
Oh.
tatas, yeah.
tatas.
I forget about that.
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't. That's just something I'm not
I do too
concerned
until
about.
they're screaming at me, and it's like, oh my god, my tits are gonna pop.
Do you pump into a bag or
No,
like
I
what?
just straight up.
just straight
She's
feed?
strictly breastfed now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I donate some of my breast milk.
Yeah.
Because I produce a lot. I'm a little,
She's like,
I tell him all the time, like I feel like a Holstein cow, like the milk cow.
uh huh.
She
And
puts
I was
out
like,
a lot.
yeah, I just eat and produce, like that's it.
Dude, your body's built for it.
Right,
you know?
dude, it's awesome. It's amazing. It's a blessing, that's for sure. So
That's cool.
yeah.
That's cool.
Oh,
Cool.
yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Oh yeah, dude, it's been a
good
blast.
talk. Yeah.
Dude. I had fun,
Yeah, me
dude.
too.
I didn't know
It's-
what to expect, but I had a
This
great
is
time.
about as crazy as it gets.
I love it, dude.
This is an early podcast. Usually I do them around in the evening, so then we can get. It doesn't matter, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is it. Just sit back, talk about whatever you want. Just try to stay on subject if you can, but who cares?
Dude, that's so hard with us too, because
Yeah.
we're like, we drink a lot of water and then get off topic. You know?
Right. That's what's fun about it, though,
Yeah.
because these ideas come up. Like, I definitely did not plan on talking about virtual reality with you guys today,
Yeah.
but we talked about it for 30 minutes. You
Yeah.
know?
Oh, and she was like, "So what are you guys gonna talk about?" I was like, "I don't know. We're
Who
just gonna
knows?
go wherever."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, "We'll go somewhere, and
Yeah.
it'll go."
You start with the things that you kind of know. Like
Yeah.
for you, it's like we'll talk about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
It's a huge part of your life. You got a lot to think and say about it. We can watch some video of you actually doing it, and then stuff comes up from that. You know,
And you just
and
feed
start-
off of it.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. I love it.
Yep. It's taught me a lot about conversation
Yeah.
and being with people. Like none of us have checked our phones at
Yeah.
all. That's weird. How many
Yeah,
times?
mine's out there.
How many times a day do you not check your phone for 3 hours? I check mine every 3 minutes.
I mean, normal people, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't check my phone that often.
You
Nah,
do too,
you're
you
fucking hippie,
lion
though.
sack.
Whatever. I don't get to see my phone at work, but when I get home, I like, check my phone once.
And you know what I tell him? I get onto him at home because I go, listen, you're going to miss and wish you would have paid attention to her facial expressions like
Yeah,
my
that's
daughter.
true.
And I'm going to be like, one day
Yep.
you're going to look back and go, man, I don't remember when she was a baby.
Right.
So me, I used my phone to like track how long or what
Right.
boob I fed her from last.
Right.
But other than that, I really try to just absorb as much as possible with that kid.
Right.
Because every parent I've ever talked to goes by so quick.
Oh,
Hang
yeah.
onto it, like, hang
I'm not even a
onto it.
parent, and I see it go by
Yeah.
quick. I'm like, damn, that's my nephew's 4 or 5 years old. How the hell did that happen?
Yeah.
There was an artist that took a bunch of pictures of people, like specifically parents or couples, like if you and I were on a date when they had their phones up, and then he photoshopped the phones out.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's just like blank palms. It's like this little baby's like, look at me, daddy, and he's like this,
Isn't that
just
horrible?
staring into his fucking empty hand. It's like, whoa.
See, that
It's
is
super
not the
powerful.
life
Wakes you
I
up,
wanna
yeah,
live
you're
back.
like,
Super powerful.
Yeah,
shit, like-
see, that's why I want to get to the woods so drastically, because
Mhm.
it forces you to pay attention what's right in front of you.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Your life is right in front of you. You don't have to
Right.
look at all these virtual crap to live your life. It's right there. Just hang on to it. Just look at it. You know, pay attention
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
to it. Like,
Right. Pay
crazy.
attention.
And watch out, because there's a bear coming.
Yeah, right. Pay fucking attention.
Dude,
Or a cougar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Fucking
jump on them.
bobcat.
See that guy that killed a cougar?
Yeah, he choked it out, man.
That's why you train jujitsu.
Exactly. Jiu-Jitsu 101, choke a cougar out.
That's week 3
Yep.
of your training.
YouTube Volume 4.
Is that a cougar? Yeah.
Dude, that would suck.
That would be
Oh, it would be
intense.
terrible.
Man.
If you made it out, though, it would be awesome.
If I was him and
No one
being
will
in
fuck with that,
Colorado,
no.
being in Colorado,
You would never have a question about your
Nope.
manhood.
I would
ever.
choke that after I would have choked it out. I would have went to a
Fucked it.
dispensary and I would have got a fat blunt and I would have smoked it right over
Because
that
you're-
cougar. Because dude, to kill that cougar, I don't care who you are, dude. To kill it with your hands,
This
I'd
is
throw
some
up.
serious
bro.
effort.
I'd look at it and be like, it's dead.
You
I
would-
was that
you
close to
would
death.
need a blunt afterward.
Oh.
Like you would have to man, I need to get high.
Probably
for this.
cry. I mean, there would be so much. Like, that's so primal
dude.
to take out a
Right, you know how
apex.
good that, you
And
know
then,
how good that
and then
man
do you
felt,
do you
Oh.
tell
He
the
was a
people? Do you
powerful
tell them
man
like,
after
hey,
that.
can I eat it? Like I'm gonna eat it. Like,
Yes.
Like, do I cut it right now and just eat it?
You
and
don't
they
even
show up?
ask.
Yeah,
you don't even
you don't
fucking
even
ask.
have
When
to.
they
You
show
just throw
up,
it
you
over
already
your
have the
shoulder.
hide cut out. It's
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
tanned.
Yeah.
You have the back straps across a fire.
I
Like,
heard cougars.
it tried to kill me.
I heard cougars good.
I did
though.
too. I have as well. It's more of. Do you remember what they related it to? They related to pork.
Pork,
They
yeah.
said it was a lot like pork.
I'd still try it.
I don't know. If you go to Idaho, I bet they got some cougar hunting. It's kind of hard to hunt cougars. You gotta use dogs.
They
and
don't like to
stuff.
be seen.
Oh, they're fucking
And that's if they allow you to
Almost.
hunt with dogs, though. A lot of people don't really allow hunt
Oh,
with
really?
dogs no more.
Yeah.
No.
about damned impossible. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah,
Then.
because you scare them up into a tree and
Oh,
then
they
you shoot them.
They know. Yeah. About the only way to do it. though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and most cougars and stuff, if they want to be seen, they'll be seen, and most
Right.
times you're not going to see them.
Nope.
That's why I was really surprised when that guy said it attacked him, and it
Mhm.
must have been maybe really hungry,
Right.
and it was like, oh, I need to fucking eat,
Yeah.
and it was like its last chance, or he saw it and was like, I'm gonna fucking go choke this cougar out because I'm gonna be so cool.
No, but I bet you he's seen it and was trying to take a fucking picture.
Oh,
That's
geez.
probably what happened.
So many people have died like
Because
that,
I know
dude.
someone like that.
Oh, yeah. People, it's the selfies that get you killed.
Yeah, I don't do the selfies. I'm not about selfies, but I'll get close if I need to get
Selfies.
close because I know I can run. In the worst case scenario, if a fucking animal chases me, I'm just gonna try to poke it in the eyes and hope.
That's a good, actually a really
This
good
is why
strategy.
I make him carry knives.
Yeah,
That's
I
exactly why.
carry a good sized knife. So
Yeah.
But I mean, worst case scenario, I've always been like, hey, poke them in the eyes.
Dude, worst case scenario is you're taking pictures and then you're dead.
Yeah.
Because you
And there's like
never
the last
saw it.
picture.
No, you don't even. It's
No.
just like, gone.
Boom. Jumps
Darkness.
On you. Yeah. Cougar jumps out of the tree and gets you. You're dead.
You wouldn't even hear it.
Yeah,
You'd just
dude.
be like,
If it pounced on you, like a full size cougar
Don't
that
they weigh
would-
like 80 pounds? Or
Oh
something?
God, no! They're like
No,
160, 180
Oh my
pounds.
God,
Like,
really?
and that's
Wow.
lightweight. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say.
like, look it up real quick because I know they get heavy.
I feel like they're.
They'll eat your baby.
oh God, they'll eat
guarantee
you.
I'd fuck that cougar up.
Yeah, 140,
Holy
220 for a big male.
Yeah, males. See, the males get big. I watched the documentary on some of the male ones, man, and when they like grab something, it's just fierce.
Yeah, their claws are horrifying.
Yeah, that's scurry.
You know who got a cougar was that guy that was on Rogan's show, Alex.
Look at them teeth.
Damn it! I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Did you see that bison?
Yeah. Damn it! Green. Adam Greentree.
Yeah, Adam Greentree.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a huge cougar he killed.
Yeah, that was a motherfucker. That was a huge cougar.
Look
See,
at
I think that one was like attacked. Like I think he got. I didn't spell his last name. I think he got hired out by a farmer to shoot that cougar because it was killing a lot of their cattle.
See, that's what we
is
want to do.
that?
We want to
That
live
makes
on
me
a
wanna
bunch of
die.
land
If you
and
saw
just take
that-
care of
Oh
them.
my God!
If
Look at
you
that
saw
arm.
that.
Oh my god.
I'd shoot it 5 times. In the hood, you hit that with a baseball bat. You better hope it goes down.
That makes me want to.
That's a big.
That one's so.
Oh, there it is, right
scary.
there.
That one's too scary. Yeah, that's his picture.
Oh my god.
That's a
the-
big old cat,
That's a
dude.
big
That
cat,
looks like more
man.
than 220. That looks like 250.
That's
I'll
a
tell you
whole
what.
person.
That motherfucker come at me and I don't kill it. I'm putting a bullet in myself.
Oh. And what's crazy is that we can't really imagine how fast
Oh yeah, because
they are. Like when you see them move, it's like that doesn't look right. It's like that is big, fast, and it's built to kill.
and you're not running from it.
Mm-mm.
Like you
No. Genetically, we just freeze.
It's turtle up.
Maybe that's what you do because we've been traumatized
Yeah.
about seeing what that fucker can do. It's
But
so terrifying.
I'll tell you what though, if it attacked me, I'm poking it in the eye. I'm just right.
I want to make a T-shirt that has a cougar that's like in pain, and these two
Just
fingers are in its eyes, just like a vector on a. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm
Do
gonna
it.
start selling T-shirts.
Sell it. Sell it.
All right, we're right on. We'll just keep talking if I don't wrap this up,
Yeah.
which is
We-
not bad, but.
That's us though. We'll talk forever. Like,
Oh,
it's terrible.
Casey and I, we talked for right under 4 hours at one time. Yeah, we were like, we need to stop.
Yeah.
No one's gonna listen to this.
Oh, yeah.
This is too much. But thank you both for coming on. You guys aren't on social media,
Yeah.
not at all. I guess you take pictures though.
Yep.
Is there a place we can go and purchase these pictures?
Not right now.
Can we message you?
Yeah, message me.
'Kay.
Just through Instagram or Facebook.
Do you
Rocky
host
World.
them? Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Or your
Oh, just
username?
Rocky World Photography.
Like Rocky ROCKY.
Yep.
Okay. And like, do you host them on a website or anything, or just
No-
Instagram?
Just Instagram
Okay.
right now. Yeah.
Cool. And if you want to hire him as a photographer, you can do that.
Yes.
Private lessons in bajillion jiu-jitsu.
Bajillion.
Bajillion jiu-jitsu. You haven't ever trained something like this. No, but you give private lessons and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
and
do it all,
I can
so.
attest that they're pretty good.
It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, though. It was
Yeah,
definitely an honor
absolutely.
to be on your podcast. So.
Well,
Dude, this is awesome.
Yeah, it was a
This
lot
is
of
cool
fun.
thing.
We'll have to do it again
Oh, yeah.
very soon.
Definitely.
Are you going to compete soon? Another competition?
Maybe in March.
Maybe
Maybe
March?
we'll see.
Cool.
We'll see. I'm going to be a dad right now. I got to live the
Aw.
dad life for a
That's
bit.
noble. Very noble.
You should have heard
Very
him after
noble.
training. He goes, "I miss being home."
Oh,
Like, I
yeah.
was like, "Aw."
Yep. That's
Yeah.
Thanks
That's
for
true
new
making
dad
me look
stuff.
like a pussy now.
no.
I know.
No, that's like
Yeah.
true man. A true man would say that.
Right.
Right on. Well, I appreciate you both coming on. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Right on. Thanks
Sweet.
for having us.
Thanks for listening to the SciFi and Friends podcast. Like I said last night, we're getting things rolling for 2019. Took a month and a half. Like I always say, if you want to come on the podcast, let me know. Or if you got someone in mind that would be a cool guest, send them my way. Besides that, everybody, have a great week. Peace.
787. 787 departure frequency 15 will be 125 Dennis. 25-7, thanks.
SciFi wins.